Good morning, traders from around the globe. How's everyone doing on this terrific Tuesday? Tuesday, the 20th of November. We got ourselves Thanksgiving week. Markets are closed on Thursday, and they are red today. Red. Daniel, what's going on? Masashi says, good morning. Good morning, brother. Hope you're all ready to win the day. Maurice says, good morning. Good morning, Maurice. Cheryl says, morning, all. So everyone's saying good morning and being all happy with each other. Giving everyone virtual internet high fives. Cool. So it's an interesting day. One of those mornings that we probably will forever remember, I think. The Qs are down almost 2% to 159.08. So they're gapping down into some very, very strong levels. Bearish candle gapping down. Now, this is a retest gap, so it certainly could retest pretty strongly and fade higher, but it most definitely does not have to. So we've already made some dramatic moves overnight. And one of the biggest things to keep in mind is there's no reason to panic. There's no reason to, do something crazy, wild, and insane. Same thing as everything else. Same day as everything else. Same day as before. Just go in, do your analysis, find some gaps that you like, and play them accordingly. This is a pretty good gap down, and I love the location, but it is down almost 2%. So the question becomes, how much lower is it really going to go? And I mean, we could go down pretty low, but it is a retest gap. And most of the gaps out there will be retest gaps, black candles gapping down. So we're going to want to have a little bit of patience. We have all the room in the world to go lower, but we could also have a tremendous fade today. And by fade, I mean we gap down, post one of these and just fill this gap and have a huge bullish day. That is certainly plausible. So again, I'm not saying it's the end of the world by any means, but it is definitely a nice gap down, and we're going to try to play it the way that the candles say that we need to play it. August wants to party like it's 1929. Yep. Gonna be a little bit of a party. So pretty much everything that we're going to look at is gapping down. This is just one of those days where the whole market is just getting absolutely rampaged. I mean everything. So my goal is to try to find something that's doing something a little bit different. I'm looking for gap ups or bearish gap and goes with a white candle gapping down. So let me scroll up and look at David's list and just see what we have. See why is that not pulling up? I can do it on my phone, but that won't help you guys. So David posted this list. I figured since it's here, might as well look at it. So these are some of the gap ups. Not a whole lot. So let's go look at PDD and see what it's doing. See if it's still gapping up. It is 2098. So PDD, this would be a phenomenal gap, like unquestionably perfect if it was gapping up to like 22, right above all these highs. 2089 isn't bad on a day like today. It's certainly going to go on the list. and just see if we can break a resistance or break some pre-market, pre-market resistance areas, which would pretty much be a break above 21.47. Looking at that price, because this is what I see, this resistance area right here. That's that pivot that was formed. And let me kind of move this over here. Settings, take this to the right. Give me a few quick seconds. I think my computer is running a little slow today. I wonder why. This whole page is kind of freezing. All right. So I was trying to just move this to the right side. I think I've done this before where, like, just for some reason, these buttons don't really like to work. All right. So anyway, this is the pivot right above here. So we'll just see if we actually end up doing anything kind of crazy. Billy, BILI, Chinese stock that's gapping up. Not really anymore. So not really gapping up anymore, up 3 cents. So nothing really spectacular on that one. That's BILI, and then ABX, the gold company. ABX gapping up 13.24, which again, not really wonderful. So I mean, these lower highs, I'd love for it to gap above here, like 13.50 would be great. So far, doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. So let me just write that down. And again, we're going to have, and we do have, tons of things to look at. Tons and tons. I mean, there's going to be no end to the gaps out there today. Okay. So these are some of the ones I want to look at. So we're going to go look for fades. I mean, that's the thing, is I want to go look for something that's like an obvious gap down, fade higher. If there's no really good gap ups, let's go look for something that's going to fade higher. So Target is probably one of those. Been waiting for Target for a long time to gap down to the $70 level. Been mentioning that I think that this is the better price for it to trade down into. So here's the long-term moving averages. The 100 simple moving average on a weekly chart is 67.85, and Target's down 11%. Even though they had, I would argue, pretty decent earnings, they certainly weren't bad. So TGT, this is a blue chip gapping down. So I'll be looking for a fade on Target. Doesn't mean that we're going to get one. Just means I'm going to look for that lower low to come in, a good 3-minute chart, right? We can see that we're making a lower low right there. So if we get a good 3-minute candle and a good pop on this, could be a nice trade. So if I do something like this, I can get pretty loose with the stop, because again, we've moved very, very far. This is pretty much, what is it, 69.31 by 67.31. $2 of risk could be a possibility. All right. So we'll just see. Again, maybe it breaks lower. Dwayne says, I'm considering a $70 put on Target expiring Friday. So Dwayne's looking at going bearish on Target. So I guess, like I said, it can easily continue lower. Just looking for a potential gap out there to sink my teeth into. So that's Target. All right, next on the list is LB. Daniel says LB for a fade. So L Brands is gapping down. What's interesting about L Brands is this is the daily chart, and this is some analysis I threw in the other day. So I was going to say if it's going to gap up into the green box, it was bullish, didn't do that. A gap down to the purple box, we likely see a lower shadow and wick being thrown in, and then LB popping higher for a bullish day trade fade. We will see. Okay, so that was my analysis then. We were gapping pretty much perfectly into the purple box. So I'm gonna throw LB on the board, pull up this 5-minute chart, and look for that lower shadow to come in, and see if it bounces and fades or keeps going lower. I mean, that's gonna be kind of the message for the day. Realistically, is just that. That will be the message of the day. Falco says, big enough gap down to put in a bottom, but we probably sell off hard at the first hour. Yeah, that makes sense on the broader markets. Makes a lot of sense. So here's Facebook, and Facebook's just getting absolutely wrecked. Facebook down 4 points to 126, just screaming lower. So the hard part, I mean, a lot of traders are going to have FOMO this morning because we're down on everything. And unless you got into some bearish positions or a put yesterday, it's going to be kind of late. On most things, NVDA is down at 134. So it's down. The purple line is the 50 EMA on a monthly chart. So NVIDIA is going to keep going down. Apple is getting absolutely smashed. So it's down 4%. Breaking below that 186.91 area was the place to get some puts. So we're gapping down to 178. So I mean, it looks like we're coming down to fill this gap at 172. Is it going to happen today? Probably not, but we could keep going lower. That's the thing, is we had to retest these two bullish days right here. So the pre-market sell-off is harsh. There's no question. And most of the moves are already going to have come. So if I go bearish on anything, it's certainly going to be a level where I think that some buyers are being trapped because people are going to be trying to buy this gap. And I'm looking for something a little bit more weakness. Goldman Sachs is down, but not as far as everything else. So I'm going to keep Goldman Sachs on the list. Square's down massive. Square's down 12%. It's down here at 55. So Square getting absolutely hammered. 55. I mean, who knows where this is going to go at this point? Down here to 49, 47? I don't know. Took out that 200 and just getting train wrecked. So Square's down. I mean, they're all down. Everything is down. Netflix capping down to 253. So it's almost already to its target, which is the 100 simple on a weekly chart, which is 239.72. It could obviously break below that, but that's kind of where I've been thinking it's going to trade to for a while. So Netflix, I mean, again, pre-market, everything's just getting absolutely torn to bits. So the hardest part is going to be waiting to trade at bearish for the right setup, or going bullish if the time arises. And we'll do our best. I mean, again, realistically, if we put in some white candles and trade sideways for a few minutes and break down, I'm going to get in. I'm going to look to get in short. I mean, we have room to go. When bear markets get rolling, they get rolling. And I say bear markets, I mean just bear movements, strong bearish movements. There are some stocks entering into bearish territory: NVIDIA, Facebook, Netflix. Those are all, it's all happening. Apple is getting very close. I do have a bearish swing trade on AAXN, hoping that it tags that $45 price, and that'll be 2 R's this morning if it works. And then I do still have a swing trade on Blue Apron, APRN. Blue Apron is down, but you know, it's down 2%, which is only 3 cents for Blue Apron. So I got to stop at 99 cents. If I lose on Blue Apron, it'll be like half an R. Pepsi, PEP is up. Dwayne said, so thank you, Dwayne. Pepsi is up. The high of yesterday was 19.52, so Pepsi's gapping up to 19.75. So that's a nice gap on Pepsi. A little bit of a bullish gap, showing some strength. We'll look to play that long. But that's kind of the morning. I mean, pretty much 98% of tickers that we're going to type in are going to be down. If you are trading in a IRA or something, you can't short, right? UVXY has been your saving grace. This gives you the ability to go long. You know, going long this means you're going bearish on the market. Here's the volatility index, and the VIX is finally picking up a little bit. So the VIX is starting to, VIX is starting to pop some. So it's going to be interesting to see where it lands today. This is the candle right now on the VIX presently. And yep, there's just a lot going on right now. So it's going to be really fun to see how we play it. I was looking for some, does anyone have any scans for bearish gaps out there? This one doesn't give any bearish gap and go, so no white candles gapping down. CGC won't really be able to short it anyway, but it's gapping down to 29. Dwayne says Coke has been making all-time highs the last few weeks. Yep, Coke is just slowly grinding higher. So Coke's been putting in work. Johnson & Johnson's been putting in work. It's up nicely over the last few days. Yeah, there's just a lot that's going to be gapping down. Lulu is gapping down hugely. 119.60. That is a massive move. So that's gapping down to the 200 pretty much already. I want to throw Lulu on here. Salesforce CRM had a huge bearish candle yesterday, gapping down 5% to 115. So just to reiterate, this is a nice enough move for these things to continue lower. I would love for some bigger retests to come in, but we'll see what we get. Falco says McDonald's won't give in. Nope. McDonald's down a little bit, very small amount. So McDonald's very pretty bounce off the 10 EMA. Falco says we're all going to need that dollar menu. Pretty much a lot going on out there. So, yeah, we'll see what's going on out there. It's going to be interesting. So strap in for a fun ride, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I can say. Strap in for a fun ride. Dan says, hey, I missed if you went over Facebook. I bought some call options yesterday. I'm going to get beat up today, seeing if there's a spot to hold to. Calls I mean, they're going to be down massively. Hope for some type of rally into the 200 simple moving average on a monthly chart, which is 134.20. But yeah, man, Facebook is on a slippery slope right now. I do have a few other people who bought some calls, very cheap calls off the 200 simple just to see if it was going to bounce, and it did not. So the fact with it doing what it's doing, I mean, if you're in long calls, just hope for a massive rally. Big old bullish candle coming in here. That's all I have. Unless you sold calls, then you're going to be good to go. Falco says Kohl's throwing in a double bottom pre-market. It's down big. So Kohl's Corporation down 11%. Wow, 63. That is massive. I mean, I'm going to put some stuff on the list, but this is just going to be a great day to kind of almost step back and see what happens. We're going to try to be as patient as we can. I'm not afraid to go bearish, really. I mean, we have room to go lower. That's what I'm trying to get at. We have plenty of room to go lower on some stuff. You're going to be quite extended. I would prefer, obviously, a nice retest or bullish series of candles to come in before we do anything. Jim says, thoughts on DGAS this morning. So UNG. UNG is gapping down 36.55. So it had a huge bullish day yesterday with an upper shadow. And DGAZ is gapping up. The high of yesterday is 315. It's gapping up to 284. We've been playing DGAZ a lot recently, and I could try it again. Why not? It is gapping up. See what we can get. Maybe we lost a quarter of an hour on it yesterday. So technically, between 3 trading periods on DGAZ, I'm down 0.25 Rs, I think. So I'm going to see if we can, we can definitely keep an eye on it. I mean, see what we get. Looks like that might be another 30-cent risk. Michael says, good morning, all. Morning, bud. Get ready for some wildness to occur. So PDD, probably nothing. Again, let's go look at Target. So Target trading down to the 100 simple on a weekly, down 12%. Pepsi is up, actually. So it is a relatively decent gap on Pepsi. It's really not bad. I don't know if it's going to pull back or how far it'll pull back, but we're going to watch it for sure. I kind of like these candles right here. Looks to me like, right, you have this big bullish candle, small little retest. Looks like it could pop higher. So we'll put Pepsi on the list. Here's the daily chart. And, I mean, you have 3 white candles in a row. This is an all-time high. Nope, not all-time high. Close to an all-time high area. So there's definitely going to be some resistance. So I'm not going to take a breakout on Pepsi. It will be definitely a retest if I play anything on it. Disney down very small. Very small on Disney. And like I mentioned, there's a lot going on out there. And what's crazy is we have a long list without even trying. Google, Amazon, I mean, it's all down. Google's down 2.5 points. So that bullish entry, people are getting trapped down to 102. Amazon's down. It's all down right now. Pretty much whatever you're typing in, especially if it's tech. Amazon at 1443. Jiminy Christmas. Amazon's down big. Again, the hardest part is, are we going to fade a little bit and then go higher? Are we going to just gap down and start rolling up? And then the question is, if we do roll up, are we going to play it on a fade to only short it later in the afternoon, or later tomorrow or Friday? I'm all for a gap down and a fade. I mean, it makes sense. Michael says Campbell's above 40.24. Campbell's is gapping up. Nice. Beautiful gap on Campbell's. Good call, Ward. Thanks for finding this one, buddy. Do have a little bit of a target right there, but I don't know if that's even going to be an issue. I will definitely watch Campbell's because I'm all for going bullish on something today. Anyone who's in something bullish is going to be like, look, my stock's up. They're going to be showing all their friends. They'll buy some more. Their friends will buy some. I'm all for it, man. That's a great gap, too. A great gap speed. So I know it's a long list. Honestly, as crazy as it sounds, Campbell's and Pepsi are my favorite. I know they're bullish gaps, but on a day like today, I'd like to do something different than the market, because the market's going to do whatever it's going to do, and it's getting rough out there. Things are happening. My phone's going to have 800 text messages by the end of the day. I've already got 40. I'm trying to look at Campbell's and see if we break above this. I mean, realistically, I could do a bullish stop limit 40.29, but a limit at 40.24. And then make the stop even farther down. That'll take a little bit of time to type in. 40.29 by 40.24. Larry, I'll write CBLK on another list if that's okay, buddy. We have 1.5 million things to look at today, so I'll do my best to look at carbon black. Yeah, I like this move on Campbell's. It's going to get very wicky and very spready. So I'm just going to I'm going to let the market open and give it a minute and just see how I want to put this order in. But Campbell's will be one that I'm going to be watching very closely. And Pepsi, again, I'm not going to be taking a breakout. If it breaks out, that's fine. I'll just let it pull back to some level. Target, we'll see about maybe fading it if it happens. L Brands, same thing. PDD is kind of a bullish gap, and then the rest is just getting absolutely smashed. Is it going to continue? Sure. Why not? Going to give it a little bit of time. Looks like all the shorts immediately are buying to cover. Wow. Look at that on Facebook. How cool is that? Every short immediately buying to cover. NVDA opened at 134. Wow. Yep, all the shorts are locking in profits. The Qs made a little bit of a lower low there. So this is the 3-minute chart. So, I mean, if it's going to go bearish, I understand. I get it. Totally get it. It can just keep selling off. You know, either direction realistically is plausible, but I think a fade makes a decent amount of sense as well. If we get some people who are trapped, but I'm going to wait for people who are trapped because NVIDIA is fading. Apple is dragging down the Qs. Look at that lower shadow on Apple. SPY is only down 1.5. I mean, I know it's a lot, but Goldman Sachs, very high wave candles. That's super interesting. It is all red out there. Lulu, very kind of a cool high wave 3-minute candle. Near the 200 simple on a daily chart. So am I actually looking at going long on stuff? I kind of am. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, but we'll see. Square, yep, there's a bullish pop on Square. And again, there's no way I'm going to be able to catch all these folks. So just remember that shorts are going to be buying to cover. We'll see if we can get some type of pullback or something, but Kohl's is down massive. So Kohl's and Lulu kind of look like they're going to do something similar. I kind of like the setup on Kohl's a little bit better. It's just down so far. And this is technically a blue chip. I mean, it does pay dividends. All right. And what we need to make sure of is just get that high wave candle. Let me turn on the pre-market just to see. All right, so there's the 20. So a decent amount of volume. KSS probably won't trigger. 63.56 stop limit with a stop loss at 61.91. Bullish fade. 63.56 by 61.91. Okay. So again, this might not trigger, probably won't. And if it does trigger, it might not even work. 63.56, $1.65 of risk, 303 shares if you're doing a $500 R. And again, it might just kind of keep going lower, which is, again, that's absolutely fine. I understand it. The Qs, nice little pop on the Qs. Nice little bounce. And that's pretty much just coming from Facebook's, you know, buying to cover and NVIDIA's buying to cover. Campbell's ran. All right, good job if you got a chance to do the Campbell's trade. Let me set up this limit buy and see if we get filled. CPB 40.24 by 39.24. So this is going to be $1 risk. Limit buy. New official day trade. Daniel's already out of AMD for a bullish fade. Nicely done. Very nice. So the bullish stop limit of 40.29 by 40.24 would have worked perfectly. I don't know if anyone got a chance to set that up. If you did, congrats. Let me scoot up Kohl's here. 40.24 by 39.24, and I'll update the chart and everything in a second so that we can all see it, but I'm just trying to buy this on a pullback at 40.24. 4024, got it, okay. So only $1 risk. Not saying it's not, I mean, not saying that's, I'm more or less saying that just because it's easy to calculate. All I'm doing. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. But Cole's just filled. All right, so we'll see if we fade. I kind of like that bullish candle that came in. I mean, that's a good area for a stop. So if it breaks lower and we get trapped and we get stopped out, we'll know why. We'll know it was us. That is your 3-minute high wave candle on a technically a blue chip gap down. I mean, Kohl's, it's not, I wouldn't say it's the most blue chip stock in the world, but it's blue chipish. It pays dividends at some point in time, I believe. Not my favorite stock, but what is my favorite stock at this point? Who knows? There's a lot going on out there. 63, 56, 61, 91, and then Campbell's 40, 24 by 39, 24. So we have two long. This is a fade, and this is a perfect gap and go. Kohl's does not look like it's going to work. We might have got Houdini'd into this trade. We'll see if the buyers can hang on, but again, that's that 3-minute candle that I'm going to play on a fade very frequently. Turn on the 1 minute. Yeah, that's a good stop. It's a good stop. Okay. So Kohl's. And I'll come in here and type in Campbell's. Again, Campbell's might not fill. That was a great gap, though, Michael, and thanks for giving it to us. Even if it doesn't fill, or even if it fills and doesn't work, still looks good. So now we get to hop over to Pepsi. All right, so Pepsi is kind of retesting pretty hard. Target. So Target, I mean, we're in a fade on Kohl's, so it's kind of the same thing. So Target bouncing off the 100, and, you know, like I said, we're in bullish on Kohl's, so if that continues to fade, it should work. L brands going lower. PDD, I can just go ahead and take that off the list. That's not what I wanted it to do. Wow, look at this fade on Facebook. Holy smokes. Beautiful. Look at this. Look at this. Yep, so we are gapping down, and we're starting to post some bullish candles. So this is all just, you know, short covering. As we mentioned, I mean, again, good job not freaking out. Now, the thing is, you have the ability to get a rollover in the afternoon. I mean, this is early in the morning, so down this much. I don't know if anyone got a chance to take this bullish fade or not right here on Q's, but you'd be up about 2 hours at this particular moment in time. Kohl's, run, baby, run. Run. Go, Kohl's. What are we going to try to trade this into? Probably the 10. 5-minute bearish high wave candle. Wow. Couldn't really ask for a better look. Doesn't mean it's going to work, though. Campbell's. How long do I leave Campbell's open? Great question. A little longer. All right. DGAZ. DGAZ, which has been putting in some interesting moves. I'm going to give this one a little bit of time. Yeah, I don't mind just playing the general market fade and then kind of going from there. So again, NVIDIA, I mean, we figured it would fade. Figured some of these fades would occur, I think. I think that's reasonable. So again, Apple, black candle gapping down, strong. Axion Enterprise, filled, by the way. Filled on our AAXN bearish swing trade target. Nicely done, team. Very cool. All right. So AAXN 45. Got it. Now, Raytheon Energy was the other one that we set up bearish, RTN. And Raytheon, I'll probably leave that open. I actually should be putting that on the list for a gap down because it looks really nice. Doesn't look quite as extended as everything else. In fact, I might just exit Kohl's and set this one up right here. I'll look at Kohl's in just a second, see how it's doing, but I do like this gap on Raytheon. Give it just a little bit more time, but it is going on the list and scooting it up to a high degree. Kohl's. How long do we hold Kohl's? It's an amazing question. Oh, you just have tons of bullish volume. Campbell's, I'll leave open for a little bit longer. Pepsi is kind of fading. Target, kind of fading higher. L Brands, we'll see. Facebook, what a fade on Facebook. DGAS is a maybe. Raytheon is like number 2 for me. Q's is down 1.5%. NVIDIA, what a fade on NVIDIA. Apple, SPY, a little bit of a bearish candle. Goldman Sachs, still weak. But Goldman Sachs is putting in weakness. I'm going to scoot this up. A lot of bearish candles in a row, so we'll be looking at shorting a pullback, but NVIDIA, right, just a bunch of fading going on. Apple, Lulu, so Lulu faded, Salesforce faded. Okay, so pretty much everything's fading. Got it. Got it. How high do I play Kohl's? I really do not know. Bullish fades are never my specialty. I'm not the greatest. I'm okay. Warts, is Jan expecting a fade and then a roll down lower? Yes, the roll is just win, but I mean this could be the bottom. This is certainly an extended move. Certainly is. So I mean we'll see as far as the rollover. I expect eventually we fill this gap probably today. I could easily see a nice big bullish candle coming in. Kohl's. Oh, let's see. I'm kind of just thinking about peeling it off. I get so uncomfortable with bullish fades sometimes. I mean, 2R is like forever away. But if it it's like, do I want to hold through the retest? It's like I kind of have to, but what if the retest is an afternoon rollover? You know, you have to battle all those when you're doing fades. I think we have a little bit more to go based on volume. I'm going to try to keep holding. Based on volume, it's like, let it, I think we have a little bit more to go. Campbell's, this 40.24 would have been this exactly like I set up before market. 40.29 stop with a limit at 40.24 would have been the way to play Campbell's. Snapdragons. It's one of those can't be in everything at once kind of situations, I think. Did anyone play Campbell's Ward? I hope you did, man. That was your call out. Paul says, is Campbell's looking to consolidate here and go higher? Do you feel a retest? Just sitting back and trying to get my head wrapped around this market. All of those things that you just said are accurate, yes. It is literally, that is the retest. This is the consolidation. It is all those things you said is accurate. The Campbell's was a bullish gap and go. I have to cancel this setup now. This one specifically, because this, like I said, this is the retest. This is why I should have gotten filled on. And if it breaks out, it's going to go lower. Cancel Campbell's. Okay, so again, I'm just going to wait on this at this point, because this is the retest that it should have filled me on, and if it breaks that, it's going to go lower. All right, Coles with the pop. Beautiful. Let's exit Coles and lock in a nice gain on this one. All right, out on Coles. 65.25. Just a lot of white candles in a row. Bobby says, thanks, up 4R on Coles. Wow. You played it a little differently than me, Bobby. Just a tad. I did not get 4Rs. Well done. Well done. 65.25. That was a good trade, though. Nice for a solid R. How's that for timing, my friends? You waited till it hit 62.12. That's like the low of the day. Bobby, crushing it. Well done. So I know, by the way, I know one of my coaching students who I've been working really, really hard with on fades. She got in bullish here. Right when I just sold, she went short. I know how she rolls. She is so good. Just feels it. One of those traders is like, she just feels it. All right. Oh, Raytheon starting to break down as we speak. Okay. So let me go look at the Dow really quick. Because Raytheon was a swing trade. Wow, Dow looks weak. The Qs. Oh no, is this a trap or a rollover? I don't know. I don't know. This is so tough. Is it a rollover or is this, is this good? 72.34 by 74. Because the thing is, if I take another trade now, I'm up 3 Rs on the day in the first 30 minutes. Realized I have obviously some unrealized red out there in some trades, but it's all option sales for December. I mean, if I did this trade, we could almost without question lose less than an R, right? 72.34 by 74.34. Look at this gap on the daily chart. I mean, oh. It's the moment of truth for the market. I agree. This is kind of it. It's like, all right, is this the rollover or is this a bounce? Good exit on Coles, by the way. SPY just broke low today. There goes Goldman Sachs. I didn't get a chance to play Goldman. I really hope someone did. Look at this 5-minute candle. Oh, brutal. Goldman. There's still some weakness out there, I guess is what I'm trying to get at. There still is weakness. I don't think Raytheon's going to retest. Again, we've canceled Campbell's because that was the retest and that was the S-curve and everything was perfect and we just missed it. Pepsi has kept fading, so we're going to keep watching Pepsi just because of the strength, but we'll see. Target, I mean, that was the fade. L Brands, you know. Facebook, I mean, it was a huge fade. No way you're going bearish at open on Facebook. I didn't get a chance to go bullish either, unfortunately. That spread was insanity, though. DGAS doesn't look awful. It doesn't. I need to keep practicing DGAS more. It moves pretty well. I don't think I'm going to need to do a 20-cent stop again. So my thought is I'm green. There's no way I can go green and red to the day. I think that's just the mark of a pure noob. So we're up on the day, realized first 30 minutes. I mean, this is one of those things where it's like, okay, I can just walk away and be done for the day. You know? That's the thing. Michael said, stop talking about me, Jan. Yeah, this is kind of a cute play on DJZ. 20-cent stop again. I'm feeling kind of scared a little bit. Like I have a little bit of like what I feel like I'm missing out on some stuff. I don't really want to take this breakdown, so I'm just waiting, I guess, is what's happening. This is a tweezer bottom. Perfect tweezer bottom. That's it. That's what I needed to see. I'll take a bearish breakdown of that. 171.57, 171.57. RTN 171.52 stop limit with a stop loss at 173.88. I feel like we could lose less than R on that trade. And if I take that trade and I do, thanks, man. New official day trade. So we played Coles pretty well. Now, again, it could obviously rotate down and pop. I'm not able to trade it a second time, which is per my plan, but I feel like that was a good exit. Almost got the exact high. If I should have had a limit sell at 65.50 because that's where I was kind of feeling it. And again, I'm totally fine for this going higher, right? So if you miss it the first time, you're probably playing it bullish above this candle with a stop loss below this candle. I mean, if you were playing it a second time, that's how you would. if you were fading it, and I see why you would. I'm not personally going to do that. I don't mind that I exited, took the gain, locked it in. Like I said, I could be done for the day. Trading by myself, I might just be done for the day. Locking an R in the first 30 minutes plus a 2-hour swing trade. Come on now. 3 Rs in the first 30 minutes? How much better is it going to get from there, you know? Good trading day already. By the way, let me give a frequent trader point for Falco, helping me find that gap on Coles for the fade idea on Coles. So RTN is set up 171.52 by 173.78. That is ready to go. I feel like maybe I shouldn't be taking a breakdown, but since it's a tweezer bottom, it's like, okay, I kind of have to. Plus, this was a bearish swing trade setup that I liked a lot. And this is the 3-minute extended hours chart. So you got the 10 just interacting with the 10, kind of pressing it down. Here's the 3-minute non-extended hours. So you got that upper shadow that kind of came into it. The 2-minute, a little bit of a gap down. 1 minute, a little bit of a gap down. And then here's the 5-minute chart. So you do have a 5-minute bullish candle. It really did retest. The reason I can't take a retest on a tweezer bottom, it's not a rule. It's just like based on candles, you know, if it's posting a tweezer bottom, I can't really do a retest. So this could trade sideways all day and I'm fine with it. I'm probably gonna end up missing DGAS. This is how I should have been played it, is 285 by 265. I might just end up missing that one. I'm probably gonna end up missing Goldman Sachs. Oh, Goldman. Oh no, I missed it. Oh man, look at this. That's the easiest setup in the world. Oh, Goldman Sachs. We've been just stalking this one for days, I feel like. Look at this gap. Andy says JD is so low. JD is so low. 1952. JD on earnings going lower. Breaking massive supports, coming down to that pre-market level. There it is. Where's Yates? There's Yates. Hey, man, JD at 1952 right now. Ward's throwing out numbers on the Qs. He said 157.76 by 158.91. So it looks like Ward's going bearish. 157.76. So what's the low of this candle? 157.80 by 158.91. 158.91 up in here somewhere. All right, my man, I will watch it. I think if it does trigger with this volume that's coming in, it should be okay. Some bullish volumes coming in. It looks like this is potentially a trap for the bears, who just shorted at the low of the day break with no question. But we're down 2.3%. If we keep trading sideways, that should be a beautiful breakdown. So I'm going to scoot up the Qs because we did get a fade. Facebook faded hard town, and I missed it. But there was no way I was going to be able to catch that spread anyway. So Facebook faded. Micron Technology, glad I got triggered in some puts yesterday because Micron's down again. AMD down again. But that's a very pretty looking fade on AMD right there on a 5-minute time frame. I'm a fan of some of the fades right now. Where's the view app? Or below it. 1751, is that really the 200 simple? Oh, wow, it is. Snapdragons. Shoot. I might have missed it. I bet Daniel Lindquist got it. He's a big fan of fading AMD. I might have missed that fade. I did not know that this was gapping down to the 200. What an easy fade, Daniel. Good job, buddy. You were mentioning earlier that you exited, so congrats. I'll throw this on the list just to see if I can catch something on it. Lulu, yep, nice little fade on Lulu. And again, Kohl's. Kohl's actually broke down. Kohl's did not break higher again. Wow. What an exit. Lulu. So Lulu, again, I'm not in Lulu, but it looks good. Target retesting. Good job on Kohl's, Falco. Hope you smoked it, my man. Entry here, stop here. So that's a maybe on Target. So I do have the ability to trade again as long as I don't lose more than an R on my second trade. This is RTN, which I'm just going to leave open for a potential breakdown later in the day. Goldman Sachs would have already exited. Campbell's, I've already canceled. Kohl's, we're out of for now. Pepsi, I'll probably take Pepsi off the list. And AMD off the 200. What an easy fade. Oh, man. Daniel playing that one like Charlie Daniels plays the fiddle. Almost a shaved bottom. If you zoom out far enough, it's a shaved bottom. 2 pennies away from a shaved bottom candle on AMD, gapping down into that support. It's a nice fade. Okay. So the Qs is down 2.2%. Huge, right? A little bit of a bullish candle. L brands hanging out. I'm really just trying to see what there is to see. Let's go look over here at MasterCard. MasterCard on the daily chart. Let today's candles close since you have a December bull put spread. And after today's candle closure, you'll get a lot more information. So MasterCard hanging out. Here's Visa. Visa's down back to that support. FAS is down 5%. Okay, so I'm feeling good about how we approached the day so far. I really do. And Axion got out at the target of 45. I really was debating on where to get out of this one. The only unfortunate thing is I probably could have set an entry at an exit, sorry, at 44, gotten another $1. It looks like it kind of popped down there. I was thinking about holding this one longer and kind of kicking myself if this actually ends up really rolling down nicely. But, you know, I had this gap and everything right here, and I was like, well, you know, but I think I'll be able to enter in this one again at some point. maybe next week, but I'm kind of, I think I could have put an entry a little bit lower than 45. I'm not going to worry about it too much. I'm upset that I missed Goldman Sachs on the 5-minute. Look at this Goldman Sachs trade, guys. Look at this pre-market buying that just gets hammered. Huge bullish candle right there, pre-market. Eradicated. Lower shadow. Hammer. Take out that hammer, you're in bearish all day. There's too much to look at. Even by myself, I don't think I'd be in that trade. There was so much going on this morning. Can't be in everything, right? Targets a maybe at some point. The Qs, we'll see. Let me do this 2-minute bio break. I'll be right back. All right. I'm back. Time is it? 9:10 Central. We have a trade set up on RTN, Raytheon Company, and it looks frothy on the 5-minute. DGAS is hanging out. Goldman Sachs, I'd love to catch it. If it can trade sideways a little bit longer, wonderful, but I definitely don't want to chase. It's down 3%. Could go lower, but it needs to get a little bit more buying before I can short it. Campbell's hanging out. Kohl's, we played Kohl's perfect, I feel like. AMD, semi-fadeable. Target, condoning lower. The Qs does look a little bit on the bearish side. Qs looks a little bit bearish. Here's the 5-minute. Thomas says, what stop and limit did you set for Raytheon? Same stop, same limit, 171.52. Same price for both. So it's interesting, the Qs, yep, Qs just made a new low of the day. Again, this is on a 5-minute chart. Michael just filled on his bearish trade on the Qs, so we'll see if we break lower. I mean, you got to rest after battle pattern. You have tons of bullish volume here. Tons, and it's breaking down. That is certainly interesting. And RTN, so again, this is also a low of the day break. You know, it's a tweezer bottom low of the day break on the 5-minute and 3-minute charts for the tweezer bottom. Doesn't mean it's going to work, but I think I can lose less than R on this trade. I'm kind of hopeful that we can do that. We'll see. So we've canceled Campbell's. Kohl's we traded, and we traded it pretty much perfectly. AMD looks kind of more bullish. Target, maybe. You know, we'll keep an eye on the Qs. L brands, we'll see about. Facebook looks like it could possibly double top. Interesting. So Facebook, right, we had the fade. We had the gap fill. Gap has filled on Facebook. So from here, can it roll over? Absolutely. Totally can. And so the big question is, will it? I mean, that part I don't know. But if I can get a good setup, I won't be afraid to fade it, right? Or sorry, to trade it down on the downside. It's just going to be all about the kind of candles that we get. And if I don't take anything else for the day, that's also fine. That is absolutely okay. What a rollover on Apple. SPY making new lows. So SPY's down 2%. Square traded back up to 60. Okay. So white candle gapping down. So we'll get to see, you know, what that does. Tony's in SPY bearish. All right, Tones. Lulu, I was looking at Lulu for a fade. Bullish this morning, and that would have been pretty much all it got. I'll keep on the list again. Did not play Lulu so far. Only Kohl's. And yeah, team, there's some stuff that looks a little on the weak side out here. Wow. And RTN, still no fade, or no entry, I should say. Wow. Goldman Sachs hanging out. This is kind of interesting here on Raytheon. It makes me try to figure out if I even like the trade anymore. This is now a tweezer, 1 penny away from a tweezer bottom on the 15-minute chart. Yeah, it makes me still like the trade. 3-minute, you have a tweezer, 171.58 and 171.58. Wow. The Bears. The Bears are here to party. Party with you. Here's SOHU. This is one we had a bullish swing trade on that we canceled. So we canceled that one. NIO, we do have open, and it did fill half of our order so far. So NIO, we're going to see if it does anything great. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, not entirely sure. Figured it was doing something a little bit different than the broader market. So I figured I would put in an order just to see if we can get filled on a pullback. What line is this? Looks like there's a line here. Interesting. So we got half at 748. Again, don't know if this trade is going to work. Again, it is different than the market. At least I think so. It's a little different than the market. Only half an R at that price. And the other half an R is at 705, which is pretty far. So it's relatively far down on NIO. Right, it's like near the 10 to 20. Because this was Mr. Squiggles. Mr. Squiggles drew, he wanted a breakout and then a retest. All right, filled on Raytheon. And filled on RTN. Yeah, so again, we'll just see. I mean, you had a good bullish volume breakout. You have some lower highs. I don't know. We'll just, one of those things, right? And RTN, I do expect it to kind of bounce a little bit. Sorry, I didn't get filled on Raytheon. What did I get filled on? Oh, wow. Sorry. That was just an alert going off on HK. I thought that was a fill on Raytheon. Apologies. That sound was an alert going off on HK. Thought it was RTN. So alert. I had an alert on HK because I'm supposed to move the stop up tomorrow to 250, and I'm definitely going to be losing on HK. But the good news is I'll be losing about an R. Which is never good, but it's going to happen. Okay. Wow. RTN, look at this. So it looks like low of the day breaks are probably going to be traps again today. Low of the day break. So let's, I mean, that's an immense amount of volume. It's kind of like, is that really going to pop or something? Jenny says NVIDIA is popping on news that Citron's going long on it. Nice. It's good old Citron. For sure. That is a decent amount of volume, though. Decent amount of volume. Beautiful fade. Coles 63.53. What a setup. Should I cancel Raytheon, Thomas, or do you think it should hold? I should hold it for a low of the day break later in the day. I mean, it's 171.52. It's almost like if it breaks forever from now, it should work. But Ward says cancel it and just go find something else. What do you think, Chamis? He says cancel. All right. So both my boys saying cancel. Cancel, RTN, day trade. Almost got filled. Great entry. So that's a good setup. Good setup. Again, sorry for the scare. I got scared. I was like, oh, it looks like Raytheon's in. And I pulled it up. I was like, what? Snap. By pennies. That's right. So Goldman Sachs, I'm going to try to short on a pullback. Campbell's was the miss of the day. AMD, again, this is a beautiful bounce off VWAP. 1798 by 1747. This is how it should be in AMD right now. Be up in R. Snuffleupagus. Want to take it calm, though. Be cool, calm, and collected. Don't want to take anything too aggressively, so I'm just going to kind of keep waiting. Ooh, Facebook. I bet that's a trap right there. What do you guys think? Tweezer bottom on Facebook right here. This candle made a new low relative to this candle. 129.59. Low of this candle is 129.51. And you got a tweezer bottom. So some people are trapped on Facebook. We'll see if we can get a chance to go long. And again, NVIDIA, I like NVIDIA for a fade. I'm glad it's fading. Some people talking about it. Let's see what they're saying. Higher highs and higher lows. Looks bullish to me. Thomas says, SPY and Qs are a level that is consistent with a lower high pattern, pre-market popping a bit right now. If we start to roll over, I would short. Okay. So Thomas is looking for a short. So we're waiting. And again, what was I looking at? NVIDIA just looks kind of good. So back over to SPY. We have a lot on the list today. Again, we were shorting. We rolled down. Very nice, kind of like 1, 2, 3 pattern. Market's just been, for the last few days, low of the day breaks and high of the day breaks have been kind of chintzy. Square back up to 61.13. Beautiful. Let's hope it keeps rallying. Again, don't mind getting put shares at 60. I probably will end up getting some, but this theoretically and certainly could be a bottom where we do something like this, and, you know, I don't know. We'll just kind of see. Qs is at 158.50. Falco has a 159.50 put sale expiring this Friday. So that one's going to get real close. Real close. Let me go just through this list and see if I need to take anything off, see if there's no chance I'm trading something. Yeah, Amazon and Facebook, they're all doing the same thing. It looks a little bit higher to me. We all look a tad higher. Good job, by the way, team, not freaking out. I think everyone handled today well. I think we handled it decently well. Q's popping higher. Target. Again, we'll see. AMD, man, this is how I should be an AMD. 1798 by 1747. I don't remember exactly why I didn't pull the trigger on that one. Not that I'm not upset about it. I'll forget that one later. Campbell's was a beautiful gap. Is a beautiful gap. DGAZ. All right. Doesn't look like it's going to do much. I'll probably just take this one off the list for today. NVDA, again, looks like a good fade. Facebook looks like a good fade. We really can go higher, team. This is a good trap right here, as I was kind of describing earlier. So, I mean, Facebook, I mean, it's so far down there. The biggest question right now is just about is really, do I want to take another trade? Very similar to yesterday. Do I take another trade and possibly risk losing? Since I'm definitely up on the day, do I give any back? Or, or what? 131.21. Wow, that'd be a big stop. $2 of stops. I mean, how much is Facebook really going to retest or fade, I should say? I'm going to keep waiting. I know I seem a little bit chicken. I probably am. Brian's typing in the chicken emoji. I haven't even looked at Lowe's yet. What did Lowe's do? Ooh, Lowe's. Nice. So Lowe's did gap down today. It is also fading. And Thomas, that's the S curve. Very pretty. Again, this is the 5-minute candle. First 5-minute candle breaks above here into the VWAP. Nice S curve. Good analysis, buddy. Just so much to look at today. And it's a fun day. Again, I feel like we did really well. How we traded and what we looked at. NVIDIA back up to 147.61. So again, I mean, this is a beautiful move, but you're looking most likely for some kind of retracement or pullback. Just a really good gap down to a support. Weekly, monthly 50 EMA at 136.94. Masashi says, good learning day for me for fade trading. All right. Hey, man, glad. Today's a good learning day for me, too. I'm always practicing and trying to get better at fades. I think I played Coles about as good as I could have, really. Again, it did retest. I get it, and I could have held on longer, but it's like, do I really want to hold through this retest? Not really. Not really. I should have gotten out. Man, I should have had a limit at 65.50. Would have been another quarter and some change. Oh, boy. Okay. So looking around, AMD, I have a little bit of FOMO in AMD. Because again, this one, I like this one a lot for a fade because you got a shaved bottom bearish candle gapping down into the 200 simple, right? Big pop, retracement. Look at the bullish volume compared to the bearish volume, right? Better bullish volume. S-curve, hammer of Thor, bounce back into the VWAP with a limit buy, the stop below the 200. That would have been a nice R&a-half on AMD in like 15 minutes. That's the one I should have taken. So now we're getting stocks pulling into the 10 EMA on the 5-minute chart. And we all know that's a big little reversal area. So could we trade up into this price and then start rolling over from here? Certainly could. You know, are we going to? I don't know. It's a bearish retest kind of day. Exactly. It's just a bearish retest kind of day. So Goldman, good job not getting into Goldman Newsom. You chase, you die. Should have been that first 5-minute candle bearish. That would have been 2 R's. Just like this. Look at this. Look at this. 2 R's to the penny, and it would have bounced. That always feels real good. Now, again, we're pulling into the 10. What time is it? 10:30 Eastern. Reversal time is here, ladies and gentlemen. Reversal time is here. So let's see if we get morning stars or evening stars or tweezer tops or something. Give it 10, 15 minutes. I have the ability to trade again today. We'll see. Kathy says, is a retest day a good day to sell covered calls? Not specifically. No. No, not really. Bearish candle gapping down, unless they're like in the money or at the money covered calls. Yeah, you probably want to wait it out. So NVIDIA, did you buy back your covered call, Falco, on NVIDIA? Speaking of covered calls. He says, nah, still chilling. All right. Chilling. So NVIDIA probably will keep climbing. Wade says, good learning day for me too. I lost 7R by not following my plan. Man, sorry to hear that, bud. Sorry to hear that. What's the pain for not following your plan? What do you have to do? I've been there, by the way, dude. It sucks. I get it. I know more than anyone. how frustrating that can be. At least you kept it small. It's not like, hey, I lost my whole account. I've seen those happen too. Let's see. Facebook, yeah. So this is, again, just not going to retest. NVIDIA, rocketing. Campbell's made that new high, perfect place to sell. Kohl's, I'm pretty glad I'm out of it. AMD, FOMO is real. The Qs trapping. So again, high of the day breakouts or low of the day breakouts for a little bit. I'm just not going to trust them. I thought Raytheon looked perfect. I guess I got real lucky that it didn't trigger. Janice's thoughts on Walmart. I don't know, man. I'm shocked. Walmart just keeps going lower, so I don't know what to say. No idea. That's my thoughts. It's at the 100 right now, so technically it should bounce at some point. But doesn't look like it's going to, does it? But the hard thing is you don't really want to short here. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bearish days in a row. Today would be the 7th. You're down, how much percent is this on Walmart? A lot. Yeah, you're down 11% in a week. At the 100, just not the spot to go bearish. Falco says Apple Evening Star. Apple. Yep, there it is. There is that Evening Star. 10 and the 20 with the extended hours turned on. And just barely hitting the 10 EMA on the 5. So we can scoot Apple up. Goldman Sachs, I will also keep on the list. Because again, we've broken down, but we just kind of retest a little bit on some things. We have room to go lower. Goldman's only down 3%, so I mean it's plenty of room to go lower. Let me just go ahead and take off some of these names. I'm not going to day trade Square today. In fact, I want it to go higher. So Square, I'm just going to take it off the list and let it keep going higher. That's fine. Not going to take a high of the day breakout though. Salesforce going red to green. Lulu bouncing off the 200. Don't know if anyone faded Lulu, but if you did, great job. Well done. SPY doing its thing. Amazon looks like it's making new highs. The Dow Jones hanging out at the 10. So we got the Dow Jones, we got the Qs, we got the SPY. Kind of watching all three. Raytheon by the skin of our teeth. We missed getting stopped out on that one. That would have sucked. Target pulling into the 10 EMA on the 5-minute. We'll see what it does, but again, was kind of a fade this morning. AMD, oh man. I should have been in this on AMD. Daniel gave it to me too. He said, hey man, I'm fading AMD, bro. Kohl's. I think I'm just going to take Kohl's off the list. We played this one as perfect as we could. I mean, almost as perfect as we could have. Only thing that would have made it better is if I exited at 65.50. That's just a nice even round number. We almost got stopped out of Kohl's. Oh, that was close. That was real close. We got triggered in on this candle. And this one got within 30 cents of our stop. Whew. Look at that hammer too. I should have done add and reduce, but I didn't have any risk left over. All right, so it's 9:38. Looks like Apple is just gonna keep on climbing a little bit. Goldman Sachs, maybe. I don't think Goldman Sachs is just gonna do totally opposite whatever the market does, but it could. Thomas says, Jan, that was pretty much the only time you could have gotten filled on Kohl's. I had a slippage, but into Kohl's. I had a slippage built into Kohl's and still got skipped on the second move. Yeah, man, that was That was it. So you're saying this one right here would have flown past you? Yeah. Even if you had done, unless you did like a market order above this hammer candle. But yeah, we had 4 or 5 minutes to set that trade up. So having that stop limit right there, I just guess we got lucky, man. Got lucky. I'm gonna text one of my traders, Samina. I'm 98% positive she probably got long somewhere down here, stop was somewhere down here, exited here, and then sold short. She probably made 2 R's in the first 30 minutes. Just a monster. Some traders amaze me when they have that. Sometimes some traders just have the gift. That's the thing, folks. You'll know if you have it. If I ever tell you, that's how you'll know. If I ever go, you got the gift. You can just see it and feel it. That's a good thing. That is a good thing. Still need rules, still need plans, but if you have an intuitional approach to the market, you can just kind of feel the beat on it. That's great. Nothing negative about that at all. Wow. NVIDIA's up 4%. There we go. So NVDA, gapping, retesting. Again, 2 to 3 days of a follow through down to the 50, just a gap down and a nice little bounce. I personally would love this gap to fill on NVIDIA. I think it should. Kind of needs to. I haven't looked at any Chinese names today. What are they doing? Alibaba, okay, is down, fading. I bet my buddy Lee, I bet you went long on Bob this morning, didn't you? Thomas says, I didn't get a bottoming pattern to trade off of, so no bullish entry on the Qs. Hey, man, good try. It pretty much just V-bottomed. Made a new low of the day, trapping people, and then just bouncing. I understand. I'm not in the Qs bullish either. I'm not in either. Very nice bullish engulfing candle on a 5-minute chart, though. I'm all for the bulls today. Like I said, it makes sense that we gap down. I even drew the candle. Nice big bullish candle coming in, right? Usually, and this happens frequently, by the way, folks. In markets like this, you get these ginormous gap downs. If you've already had a very volatile market and you get a huge gap, you very often fade it. Because this is when the newbies get all excited and they think the market's going to tank and they buy puts at open, thinking the market's going to go zero, and they just get punished because they don't realize this is literally a retest gap. Black candle gapping down. We need to retest down 2% at open. I mean, come on. So the SPY is working on getting a little bit of a fade. Again, we still have to close below 266.76. End of day, a closure. We might not get that closure today. We'll see. If it does, some bearishness will be happening. Netflix, almost to the low. Yates says, you think buy MU puts around here still? Yeah, I mean, I think that's wise. Pick up some MU puts. Doesn't look insanely bullish. Again, I like the gap down and the fade higher. I dig that, but yeah, pick some up. No need to wait for a break below low of today. That'll just add to the bearishness. TWLO was looking at that one earlier. So yeah, that just gapped down and faded higher. Falco, I can't remember. Are you in any put sales or anything on MU? So those puts, if you got in yesterday, they were already up 30% at open. So I appreciate you telling me that, Yates, because I think this is probably time to add in again. So MU getting back up to these highs. Good to know. Brian says, is Apple behind? Netflix, NVDA, Netflix all look the same. Apple is setting up. We can go look. So Apple, I mean, it's going to be a really interesting short if we get some shorts. It's not going to be obvious. I don't think there's going to be any moving average or anything kind of telling us yes. It'll have to be like a locational short if we take a trade. If you're getting in bearish on something, it's not going to be super obvious, I don't think. NVIDIA just smoking it. Up to 151.20. What a move. Campbell's. I think I can take Campbell's off the list, guys. Oh, AMD. Oh, my goodness. Cool. Thomas, let me miss that one. Steven says, what strike and expiration were you looking at on the MU protective puts? 37 December. Man, AMD. I might have to take this. Let's take that off the list. That's going to make me cry. What a fade. In the Dow, kind of an interesting candle. Looks like it's going to close down here. So the SPY made it back up to the high of the day, previous resistance. It didn't go higher. So we didn't make a new high of the day. 266.09. I was hoping we did because that would mean that some bulls are trapped. The Qs did, though. Okay, so the Qs made a new high. I am kind of keeping my eyes out for a rollover and then a bounce later in the day. Might be too late. Man, Facebook. So the gentleman who said that you bought calls, again, this is probably best case scenario. I'm glad it's happening. Ultimately, I mean, I really would like it to end up retesting the gap from the weekly chart. So this is definitely a good start. A lot of people locking in profits today. All right, so back over to Goldman Sachs. I think it's kind of weak. Did pop bullish. All right, so getting some bullish pops. What's this kind of message? Having fun with the Qs? Yes, sir. All right, so Apple. Again, the hard part is any short is going to have candles and everything kind of saying no. Pivots and areas. And I don't want to, if I do short, I don't want to wait too long. So it's going to put me in an interesting bind because you have a lot of volume and a lot of wave rotation that says this is probably a wave 4. Wave 4s can be pretty ugly. I'm just going to take Campbell's off the list. This was the miss for the day. Should have been in Campbell's with a little bit of a gain. Target, to fade Target. Possible. My biggest question on any trade that I take is, because we have an R realized for bullish trades. Did a bullish fade on Coles. So we have an R realized. Now it's like, okay, if we take another trade, do we give any of that back? Because that's our worst case scenario. And again, if you got a chance to go long on some names, well done. It just really depends on where you went long and how you did it, if you are making money or not. All right, so SPY, L brand. So L brands is trying to fade. This is one that we've been talking about too, that we might throw in a lower shadow and then eventually fade. I haven't played it, so it doesn't really matter. What did iRobot do? IRBT. Nothing. So here's Delta Airlines. Wow, Delta picking up some slack. So we're looking at this one this afternoon, still holding up kind of strong. American was a gap down and then kind of got bought up a little bit. Southwest, takes some LUV, a little bit of a bullish candle. CarMax, took some with KMX. Nice lower shadow on CarMax. Wow. Look at CarMax just run. Look at this volume coming in right now. Big old hammer. Lumber liquidators, still trading sideways. Honda Motor Company, HMC. So Honda back down to 27.84. If I go to a monthly chart, you'll be able to see this is very sideways. Anything you were all looking at specifically? Anything you want to look at? Anything you have questions on? Here's AXSM. Awesome. Therapeutics. And that one kind of chopping around, trading sideways a little bit. Nothing too radical. That weekly 100 just kind of punched it in the face a little bit. Purple, PRPL. So this bad boy trying to post a little bit of a bullish move last few days after earnings. Purple inventories. How are earnings? Net revenue increased 26%. Gross margin was 39 compared to 43. Operating loss was 3.4 compared to operating at 5.4. So they lost money, just not as bad. That's pretty much what it's saying. So it's down, just not as bad as you would think. Neogenetics, NEO. Holding up. Decent little bullish run at an okay move on earnings. Just slowly grinding back. VCRA. A little bit of a lower shadow. This is today's candle, down 4%. Just made a new all-time high. Cool. So again, we gap down and fading. So it looks like we're fading a little bit higher. So Apple posting in the candle. I just don't know if we're actually going to get a pullback into the highs that we just placed. So I don't feel bad not being in these names that are fading. We did play a good fade. Raytheon, I was thinking about taking this high of the day break, but it would have been definitely a retest. Would have gotten filled though. Qs, yeah, we're just going to keep filling this gap. All right. I'm all for it, by the way. My boy Brian took Apple 179.54 at 178.48. Nice. $1 worth of risk. Hope she runs to the moon, buddy. Right now you're up almost an R, so that's wonderful. Good job, sir. So yeah, I mean, really at this point, that's what's happening is we're getting a fade. Big bearish candle, gapping down. Everyone's losing their minds, and we're thinking, okay, it probably bounces here. You know, the retest gap, add a strong support. It's going to make tomorrow very interesting if we gap up. Lee says, thinking about closing my protective put on JD since it's at an all-time low. What do you think? I agree. And good job having some protection. And then give it a week or two, let it hang out, trade sideways, and then buy some more if it breaks lower. Or buy another one on a retest, yep. So good job being in some protection on that one. It's obviously a little bearish right now. All-time lows, good earnings. They made a lot of money. Income nearly tripled. But yeah, it's obviously at a really nice low level. So we'll get to see kind of what she does. Here's Tencent, TCEHY, Tencent Holdings. And this one holding up okay, right? You got the 200 simple on a weekly. This is what the weekly chart looks like if you kind of zoom in a little bit. We're just kind of hanging out. It's been bouncing around for a while. Certainly, it appears to me that's an accumulation. British Petroleum, ticker symbol BP. BP, hanging out. Eventbrite, ticker symbol EB, hanging out. Brian says, ExxonMobil killing me. I think this one's your longer term one, right? Slow, dude. ExxonMobil is boring. It is, man. I agree. Boring, boring. Just keep letting it be boring for a few more evers. If you got it on a drip, let it keep dripping. And if she ever breaks out, let it ride. Chevron, I mean, not doing much better. It's up a little bit, but not a whole lot. Let's look at Skechers. Right now, I'm just browsing the markets, browsing around, seeing if I can find something. Brian says, I own 78 shares, thinking of buying 22 more, then I can do options to get out. Yeah. I mean, you'll be able to do covered calls. There's not a lot of premium on ExxonMobil. Usually most people who play Exxon, I mean, you're really going to buy it as absolute low as you can and sell it as absolute high as you can. So if it pulls down to 76 or 75, I agree. I think if it pulls down there, you could add some more. And then you can turn around and start selling some covered calls. The covered call premiums are not going to be very good, so just kind of know that going forward. You're going to have to sell like a year's worth of time to get anything really good. But drips are not a bad thing. And like I said, if this is on a drip, you just have it long term and just keep adding and try to accumulate 1,000 shares in the next 20 years. I mean, most drips are pretty boring. That's the thing. Most stocks, you have like Campbell's and Kraft Heinz. There's a few that aren't really exciting. Starbucks just got exciting. Starbucks is on a few drip programs. Starbucks finally breaking out of that distribution phase, which took the better part of 4 years. Starbucks is going to be moving. Falco says, can the trade journal be updated for naked call sales? This trade journal, yes. Are you talking about the trade journal on the website? The Google Doc. So if you go into naked calls, yeah, you can add that. Consider it done. Brian, Target, I've been keeping a close eye on it. Let's see if this is the time where she breaks out. Tried to break 70-60 twice. This is the 5 minutes. I played one retail bullish before. We're hanging out at the 10 EMA on the 5 minute. That's really what this resistance is. I could see why it would go long here. It's going to be the slowest long in the world, though. I don't think it really flies. I probably won't take that one personally. Mostly just going to wait. Could go any way, either direction. I agree. I do agree with you on that. I could short it even. Tesla's down a little bit today, but again, kind of like the market, gapping down and fading higher. Gapping down to that 20, getting bought up. Looks cute. Apple down to 181.20. Wow town. As much as I think this gap is going to fill, 169. You want to do any 165 put sales on Apple, Falco? Probably put sailed out, but I know you've had one on Apple not too long ago that expired worthless, barely. So if you're interested in doing it again, So again, target, as pretty as the candles look, my biggest question is how far would it actually move? How far would it actually go? I don't know. Not sure. Gonna keep waiting, seeing what's out there. Keep giving it time. Chief says, I closed my covered call on JD. Noted. Apple, 160 December put sale has 1%. Let's go hop over and look at Kohl's, KSS. So Kohl's, we did get out of that, and again, totally fine being out of it. Back up to the resistance, can't play it twice. SPY, tweezer top with a new high of the day. New high of the day, tweezer top. Let's see if we get this white candle. If we close with a bullish candle right here, that'd be kind of fun. Again, I'm game to go bearish on something. It's just going to take a little bit of time. And again, if we break through here, I mean, if we break this high, the Qs are going to, the SPY is going to go green for the day. If we take out this tweezer top, SPY will end up closing green on the day. Brian says out of Apple for 0.7 Rs. Hey, nicely done. Good job, Buckaroo. Falco says sold 160 Apple for $1.68 December. 160. She could get down there, but man, now we're talking less than a month worth of time on a really strong gap down. Our timing has been impeccable on these things, man. $160 December. Still think this gap ends up filling, which again, if it does, that's fine, but we're still talking 20 points away or another more than 10%. Timing is everything. Yep. And NVIDIA is still not done. I mean, NVIDIA right now is up 5%. So if we end up retracing and filling this gap a little bit more, I think we're going to have a really good opportunity to play with this one and have fun. You know, we do something like this. Could be a kind of a best case scenario where you get yourself a nice covered call and a nice protective put. Ride it out. But yeah, that 165, you could have closed out now for a profit. Wouldn't have been a big one, but it was up at some point with a gap down of that magnitude. So always fun things to contemplate and think about. The timing is indeed everything. Facebook. So again, Facebook gapping down. Oh boy. Target, just not sold on a target long. It looks like it's going to break lower. Problem is I can't short it because it's already bounced off of a support. The 100 on a weekly is obviously a target of some kind. So I'm not able to short target. My biggest challenge on the SPY is if I go bearish, which I think, is this a tweezer bottom? Wow, 2 pennies away from a tweezer bottom. Turn the extended hours on. You got the 10 kind of propping it up. If I took this trade, if I end up taking this trade bearish on the SPY, it's going to be very difficult to lose less than an R. It is at the 10 EMA on the 15. 1 penny away from a tweezer top on the 15-minute. But I will begin watching it here for a quick rollover. When will I make that official? 5 more minutes, and I probably will end up scalping it or really being pretty aggressive with the stop. Almost $1 on that. It's very close to $1. And again, just as a reminder, I think if the SPY takes out this tweezer top, it ends green on the day and does not close below 266.76, and then gives us a new pivot. Fun times, ladies and gentlemen. Qs, wow. Almost printing the candle that we drew this morning. Nice lower shadow. I know you got your put sale, Falco, and again, I hope that one expires worthless. Good thing you got Thursday, the market's closed, and you got Friday, IWM back down to a support, down to that low. It's going to be fun to see what we get out there. Falco says, yep, but if not, I'm getting in low. I do not have a position on the Qs. Yeah, man, exactly. You're definitely not buying high if you get put some shares at 159.50. I mean, that is a 15% pullback, you know, from the highs. So you can't be too upset with that. Buying at a 15% discount. Almost at the 100 simple on a weekly chart. Where I'm not saying it's going to bounce, but at least you have a position in tech. And again, timing will be key. Depending on how today closes, I think we're going to be all right for the most part. I mean, tomorrow will be really fun and interesting. I'll be around the markets tomorrow. I don't know if I'll be trading, though. But on Thursday, U.S. markets are closed, and then it closes at 1 p.m. on Friday. Lee says, the market is fun lately, but the heart has been able to handle it. Whatever does not kill you makes you stronger, right? That is an actual statement, and it's true. Whoa, interesting candle pattern here on the SPY. So this is a new high of the day. Definitely an interesting retest. I mean, if I turn the 15-minute extended hours on, we're actually above the 10 and the 20. Hourly, we're hitting the 10. We're above all the average, you know, all main averages on the extended hours. But it is a tweezer top. And it certainly could roll down. The hardest part for me is, am I going to be able to lose less than an R? And it's going to be pretty tough. But I like this short, and I like the tweezer top. 1 penny away from a perfect tweezer. 1 penny away. That's why I'm kind of waiting as well. I don't think it triggers realistically. And I'm trying to figure out if it does, is it going to be a, is it going to, how far do we roll? Right? Do we do like this, which would be fun? Do we do this and this, which is most likely? Does it just trade back to the VWAP? VWAP's 26.518, so that's right at an R, almost an R. It's a tough call. Probably going to wait just because I don't think I'm going to be able to lose less than an R if I'm wrong on this one. And we only have an R realized on the day for day trading. So obviously missed out on some good fades, but we played a fade this morning and it did not fade like everything else faded. Like NVDA or Facebook or AMD. Goldman Sachs with kind of a cute breakdown. I'm not afraid to go bearish on something up here. Just square back to the VWAP, says Falco. I mean, it filled that gap. Makes sense to me that it could fade right back down to the VWAP, sure. So at least I'll get to watch it and see if the analysis is right. Am I afraid on the trade? No. This was just one based on risk. I mean, so I want to give a lot back. What I could do is if it closes down here, I could absolutely do a limit sell. Make the risk reward better. Like this. 266.01 by 267.01, $1 risk, and then I'd feel a lot better about losing less than an R. That I could do. I just doubt it. I doubt that it fills. Or I'm going to give that maybe 10 minutes to fill. That way it's almost a 1-to-1 into the VWAP. Again, it was a good breakdown. I appreciate the shout out, Tony. Don't know if you're in bearish. I know my boy Thomas that he's in bearish. You got a little bit of a double top on a 1. SPY 266.01 limit sell by 267.01. New official day trade. Only keeping open a short period of time. I think I have plenty of time to set this up in the journal and everything. It's going to be about 20 seconds. So again, dollar risk, that's easy to calculate. So that's going to be simple. Okay, SPY 266.01 by 267.01. And this is a retest gap. All right. So we are playing a retest. If it retests, again, if it just sinks, that's okay. If I miss the breakdown, I can live with that. Not too stressed. But on a 1-minute chart, I mean, you have to say that does look like a double top. So I'd be shorting at the neckline, with a relatively okay stop. And I like the fact that it's below the moving averages now on a 5-minute. That's kind of my preference. So now that it's back below all those moving averages on the 5 and the 15, got the 10 EMA there acting as a resistance. Thomas is in short. So if it keeps dropping, at least one trader makes money, and then that is beautiful, right? We all trade a little different. We all see things a little different. Brian says half an R of risk on target, 69.49 by 70.43. Beautiful. Only reason I'm not trading that is because it's already bounced off the 100 on a weekly. I love it, man. I think it looks really pretty. Mine would be 70-68, but you know me, dude, I'm just a giant chicken. I could see 70-40-43 as well. It makes sense. You could still lose potentially less than R on that setup. Yeah, I'll watch it for you, my man, as if I was in. You scoot SPY up to the top position since we're in, we got a setup on it. Apple had a little bit of a break. Goldman Sachs again. It was the right spot for a breakdown. Not upset that I didn't catch, that I didn't do the actual breakdown part. Not really worried about that at all. It was all just based on risk. Amazon, Square's with those averages. This is kind of the 5-minute candle I'll allow it to retest on. Again, could be a bear trap where it just slings down, but it didn't actually hit the VWAP, and it's almost a 1-to-1 into the VWAP. Jeff says, you think DGAS may be going up for another try? So I looked at it a lot this morning. Didn't see anything that I loved. Looks like we did fill the gap, though. Again, not a terrible gap up. Let me look at this 15-minute chart without the extended hours turned on. If you play it, Jeff, I think you would do just a limit buy because it's been, kind of retesty recently. So I wouldn't try to take a breakout. Yeah, I'd try to just get it on a pullback if you play it. I think it's okay. I think we'll have probably a better shot tomorrow or the next day. Not a bad gap. Certainly some people hopping on and getting trapped yesterday. I was one of them. Right, I got into a bullish trade and got stopped out for a small loss. So, yep, I like this little move. I'd be keeping an eye on it. Probably tomorrow would most likely be best. A little bit of a better play. Falco says he's in the Qs shorts. All right. So some people are playing a little bit of a rollover here. And I can't argue with it because I got a SPY short set up. And it's okay if I miss it. I'll just cry to myself. The question is, how low will this rollover come in at? And I do not know that answer. Back to NVIDIA. NVDA. To close this morning. Brian says, wow, I want to thank all at Real Life Trading. You taught me to set up targets, think about where the stock will go, not just enter a trade, played Apple perfect, hit target, and I thought it would roll. I've learned so much. Man, thank you. You've been trading well, buddy. I mean, you thought about it in advance. You played it well. You did great. This was right there was a really nice little trap for people going long. That was a high of the day breakout, 181.15. That wick went to 181.20. So a bunch of noobs hopped on bullish right there. Got wrecked. So that was your 1 hour target. Selling to them buying. Well done. KSS, Coles. I played Coles long. Brian says he canceled Target. Man, with this white candle, I'd probably reopen it, brother. If you're chicken, increase your stop. Make that a little bit higher. So that way you can lose less than R. Because your goal is going to be based on purely how you did on Apple. So if you won on Apple, which I think you said you got 0.7 Rs total, you got to make sure you can, if you do play Target, you can lose less than that gain. Right? So it's just all going to come down to that. SPY, again, I'm not upset if I end up missing this particular trade. It is hanging out at the VWAP. It did kind of retest right here. Obviously didn't get us. But on a 3-minute chart, looks like it probably won't. Might have missed it. If it hits the VWAP, I'll cancel because that really would have been target 1. Again, I didn't take the breakdown because a pure breakdown risk reward would have been only okay. That's all. That and my risk, I don't know if I could have lost less than an R. And I'm only up an R realized from day trades. I actually have 3 Rs on the day thanks to our AAXN bearish swing trade. Hoping Blue Apron can go higher one day. APRN down a little bit lower. Probably going to get stopped out of that at some point. And we did get triggered into the NIO bullish swing trade for half an R. So we'll get to see if that does anything. Maybe playing that off the banks of Tesla, right? Tesla gap down and got bought up higher. We looked at BILI early this morning, Billy, and it's actually up on the day, 4%. Realistically, just chilling. And then IQ is down even lower, coming back to 19. $3M. Not much there. Thomas exited his Johnson & Johnson swing yesterday and looks like a pretty good exit. Procter & Gamble. So Procter & Gamble getting back up to that resistance. We sold that one about as high as we could. Falco has a January covered call, but he's just going to hold that for a bit. Mickey D's, McDonald's, retesting. And back over to SPY. So there's SPY at the VWAP, folks. There she is. So SPY back at the VWAP. Almost got filled on SPY. Good setup, team. Nice analysis. Thomas Wong got in short. Tony helped me with the setup. Let's cancel it for now. Because it's at target 1. Good job. I mean, again, at least we didn't go bullish right there. Right? At least we did not go long right here with the high of the day breakout on the SPY. At least we did that correctly. I like the pattern. Again, not upset that I didn't take the breakout. I can live with that decision. Breakout would have been there by there, and I would be peeling off probably all of it at the VWAP. That's the thing. I mean, with as choppy as this market is, of course, it could go all the way back down. And I'm letting everyone know, if we do trade all the way back down today, I'm going to look for another long on the SPY after it makes a new low. Let's go ahead and throw that out there. But yeah, good rollover on some stuff. So NVIDIA's hanging out. Target still trading sideways. RTN hanging out. The Qs inside candle, but again, looks a little on the bearish side. The Dow ETF broke down. L brands very sideways, and we have Amazon and Square on here. Amazon and Square also just kind of relaxing, being cool. Yeah, just waiting. Seeing what we got out there. Look at gold, GLD, gold sideways. Activision Blizzard, ATVI. So Activision made another low today and is also kind of fading up a little bit. Activision. I missed AMD bad on the 5 minute. Did the analysis perfect, and I guess I just didn't set the trade up. I mean, I guess I'm trying to figure out why I didn't take the trade. I have a hard time being aggressive when I'm up. That's the funny thing. That's one of my personality flaws of trading. When I'm down, I can be real aggressive, take some great trades, get that money. But when I'm up, I play like a chia pet. Just terrified. Don't ever give any back. Don't ever risk more. Chicken. Brian says, me too. Scared target. Scared of target, says Brian. I told you not to be. But it's okay. Marie says, ideas on shorting JD. JD, you're going to want to wait on a retest on JD. It's literally the lowest it's ever been. So you don't really want to short it right now. So this is the daily chart. And you got 3 bearish candles in a row. So if you're looking at shorting JD, I mean, some type of retest is what I would wait for. New all-time lows on JD today, even though their earnings were quite good. So, yep, so I would wait. And as far as a day trade, I would definitely wait. Day trade, first 5 minute, I mean, the second 5 minute candle, if you were going to short it, which I did not, obviously, if you were going to, it would have been there, and that would have made your move. You could have gotten maybe an R. Would have been about it. Chief, what's up, buddy? He says a chia pet, LOL. Yeah, man. So SPY, Thomas has just hit his target. Good job, Thomas. Well done. Again, should have taken the breakdown. I think I would have gotten filled. Did you get filled on a breakdown, or you probably got in a little bit earlier? I might not kick myself too much. What was your entry? Mine would have been 266.01. I very rarely get skipped on the SPY. No, it would have been 265.95. Yours is 265.97? Okay, awesome. Yeah, I would have gotten filled. Good job, buddy. Well done, brother. So I guess I'm just going to wait to see if we make a new low of the day, or to see if we make go back down to the low, and I'll look for a long again. Doesn't mean it will happen, but I feel like I played SPY well. I mean, we did the analysis right. At least Thomas made money. That is good. That is good. Target broke down. NVDA up 4%. Facebook hanging out. Falco says he exited the queues for a small gain. It did not roll with the SPY. Hey, at least you got out for a small gain. Good job, buddy. So yeah, now at this point, I'm just standing with my hands in the pocket, Alanis Morissette style. So I'm waiting for a bullish setup that I can trade. Trying to find the right one. I'm not seeing it. I mean, the Qs, if I took a bullish trade on the Qs, it'd be like 160.17, 159. I also don't want to trade just to trade. I want to make sure that the setup looks like something I normally play. I want to be smart about it. Because again, that was a SPY move. That was about as much as I thought it would do, realistically. And it still could go lower, of course. But I was like, I think this is probably as much as it does. So it could have gotten like maybe 0.6, 0.7 hours on SPY, approximately. Square. I like this look on Square. What time is it? 10:37. So this would pretty much be going long. This is the S curve, right? Yep. 61. Wow, that's 61.87 by 6. That's 60.53 down there. Whoa. I've been doing $1 risks very frequently on Square recently, and that's more than $1. It does not look like more than $1, but it is. Jeepers creepers. So our stop for $1 risk would have to go here. 68. That does not look like $1, does it? Am I being crazy? It looks good on the extended hours. Not so much on the non-extended hours. Wow. That's $1 risk. It looks like a tiny stop. Tom's got 0.7 R's on the SPY. Good job, buddy. Very well done, sir. Yet, I'm going to have to just keep waiting, folks. I'm going to keep waiting. It's the hardest thing to do, to be a day trader, not to trade. But what was interesting is this morning, I said, I think 2 or 3 times, I should just stop for the day. This is right. I was like, man, if I was by myself, I'd probably just walk away and be done. And yeah, I probably would have. I mean, we made an R in 30 minutes. Where else do you do that? You know, a lot of you are trading with $500, $600 R's. So where else are you making $500 in 30 minutes for pressing buttons? Chief says, right? I'm telling you, man. Right? Now, what is interesting is, what if the market doesn't bounce? What if we break down? Falco says, so where else can you lose $500 in 9 minutes? Dude, right here. This environment. Right here. Yeah, usually if I lose, that's almost the exact amount of time I lose in, too. This Goldman Sachs is piquing my interest. This would be a $2 stop, which I feel like I could lose less than an R on, because that's all I have to do. Am I being a giant chimpanzee? Take this. Cheryl said, trade just to take a trade. That's what I used to do before I started being in your room. Then it also took me a bunch of losses to quit trading like that. Nowadays, I don't even trade. That's what Masashi said. Masashi said hasn't even taken a trade today. And that's absolutely okay. And I'm super, super happy, Cheryl, that you kind of came into that zone and had that realization. It makes me very happy because, yeah, you're absolutely right. That's the mark of a really great trader. A fantastic real life trader is if you can go a whole day and not take a trade. Being in front of the computer, looking at it, seeing all the setups and just not trading because just something doesn't look right or you don't like it or you're scared or fearful or whatever. That's okay. All those things happen. You know, I get it. But that's the mark of a really great trader. Because if you don't trade, you definitely can't lose, and that's really all it's about. Brian says, my day's a lot better when I don't take a trade versus taking one just to lose an R. Oh, yeah. Yep. Chief says he won't be trading on Thursday. What about Friday? You trade on Friday or calling that one quits? Yeah, it looks like we're getting a little bit of a bounce out there, which I thought. I mean, again, I think I'm just terrified on Square. I would have filled at 61.87 too. Yeah, would have filled right there. Low of that candle, 61.85. Would have gotten it by 2 cents. So why again am I not in? Again, I think it's just the stop. I think Square could get up to 64.84 today. I don't love this chart right here. I'm not a huge fan of that. Falco says, would you buy protection now if some things had gapped below protective puts and are retesting, i.e. IWM? So pretty much you're saying, we gap down, trading higher. If that's the situation, I usually wait for a filling of the gap. Once the gap is entirely filled, you try to do it higher because right now it's at a little bit of a low level, right? And this could create a support. So like, what if this happens? I'd hate to buy a put right here. And I totally understand that. So then you're like, well, okay, well, what if it breaks, what if it doesn't bounce and it breaks even lower? So yeah, I think it's usually a good idea to just go ahead and leg into, depends on how many shares you have, but once the gap retests and you're able to buy a put, go ahead and do that and hope that you're wrong and hope it double bottoms. That's the goal. So in getting into the put, you could almost go ahead and leg into your bear put spread. If you get in here and then you sell a put here, so you're offsetting the cost of insurance, so it's not going to cost you a whole heap ton, and then you're hoping that it runs. That's what a few people are going to be doing on NVDA, is figuring out where to buy those protective puts, and realistically, they'll probably be a little bit later on a retest tomorrow and Friday and maybe Monday of next week. But the hard part is, how do you know? What if it just trades into here and rolls over? Because it could. This is a pullback into the 10 EMA on the 5-minute hourly. Sorry, I said 5-minute hourly chart. So first time it's ever hitting that. So that's the hard part. With protection, it's it can be expensive to have, and it can be expensive not to have. So yeah, it's one of those double-edged swords. Apple nice and far down there again. Goldman Sachs. The more I look at the daily charts, the more I think about not taking this trade. A little extended, right? Yeah. Now Raytheon, the swing trade is still open. So if we retest 178.51, even though this could be a higher low, I think I'm okay with that. Just having that order open just in case. Because this weekly chart looks a little weak. Again, here's your long-term moving averages. So, stop will be above the 100 simple on a weekly. The daily chart, stop is above the 10 and the 20. Yeah, I'm just going to hold that one open. Carvana, hanging out. Car Gurus. So CARG, been keeping an eye on this one. This one's trying to actually get a little bit of a bounce. Near the 200, right? Yep. Car Gurus. DocuSign, supposed to be gapping up, and it gapped down and faded. Okay. So DocuSign getting a little bit of a fade. Dropbox, ticker symbol DBX. And Dropbox also gnarly town gap down and a retest and a fade. Look at DBX. Look at this S curve. Just doing what everything did today. S curve. Look at this new low. Look at this beautiful trap. That is so pretty. The low of this candle is 2 pennies lower than the low of this candle. So some people went short right there. They put their entry at 20.37, got hosed, got stopped out, and that's why you got that nice trap and run. Target, TGT. Brian says, is that a morning star on target? It is, but it has to break above the high of this white candle. I don't think you're in this trade, which is fine. All right. I mean, the 100 simple on a weekly, that is a target, that is a support, and it's going to get a little bit weird. If I was in this trade, I would just keep my stop where it is for right now. Let that 20 come down and just slowly press it lower. Thomas says, get ready for a move. I'm about to leave for work. So the market will move as soon as I leave. I mean, that's the way it works, right? So I appreciate you letting me know. All right, folks, get ready to load up. We're going to make money off of Thomason being absent. What a cool job Thomas has, trading on the West Coast. West Coast trading is hard but fun. If you party, all parties are over at like 6:30 at night. If you're going out, you are yawn city around 6:30 p.m. because come 7 or 8 o'clock, you're probably asleep, waking up at 4:35. I mean, market opens at 6:30. You know, so I mean, where are you waking up? 5. So yeah, going to bed around, I don't know, 10. That's when you have to be asleep. Dwayne says, you got it, living on Pacific. Yep. Brian says, man, I sleep in so many times. Brian says, I wake up later after open, check Slack, great job, team, exit all for 2 hours, screw my life, LOL. Dude, I've been there, man. Now the question is, are you sleeping because you're hungover? Or you get off work at 11? Well, that's why right there. Yeah, that's why. That's a tough schedule, man, but it's okay. There's money to be made, you know, in the afternoon. If you can find some moves, some shake and bakes. All right, well, there's Square coming back to retest me, so I'm going to get another shot at it if I want it. In fact, I actually do like it above this candle if we take out this candle high. This looks like it's going to be posting a double top, so if it does get above here, I kind of like it again. I'll just not go with a full dollar of risk. But again, if it double tops, we could also short it. So I'm good with either one. Game with either, because I know I would have just gotten in bullish, right? I just did not like this chart. I'm not a huge fan of that chart right there. The view app is at 60.46. So if it double tops, oh man, risk reward's not going to be great. Oh, that's lame. Look at SPY again. Right back up to that level, trying to post an evening star. Whoa. Let me go back over here. I did take Goldman Sachs off the list. Yeah, I'm just going to take it back off the list. I'm not going to do that. Brian says, what's your play on Ray? Is that a ticker? R-A-Y? Oh, Raytheon. Dang, dude. Look at this. That was almost us. Whoo-wee. Oh, man. You guys saw it. Welcome, Johnny. Look at that double bottom, too. I thought about taking a high of the day break, but that's right when I was like, high of the day breaks have not been working. Yeah, I think it's going to, I mean, if it does pop, I'm fine with it popping. I actually do have a bearish swing trade short that I'll look to get into at 178. I think it could get up there. I kind of like this look at this move. My only question is there really meat on the bones left? You know, like how much more is it going to be? How much more is it going to pop? So yeah, I can scoot up a little bit. Chief says I like square to hit 64 today. Just depends on what time frame you look at. The extended hours, the non-extended hours. There's our hammer. Off of the 20. So it's going to be either now or never. Chief likes it to hit 64 today. I think it could, yeah, 64.84 is the 200 simple. 62.12 by 60.87. Man, it makes sense, but I think I'm just going to continue to be a ginormous chicken on this trade. It's so funny. I don't know what I'm looking for. I'm not really sure what I'm trying to get on Square. Because this chart looks great. This chart looks terrible. That's the conundrum that I'm having. So if I'm going to continue to have that conundrum, usually a setup should just be easy. You should just kind of see it and go, all right, you know, let it do its thing. Falco says it already faded from 55. Are you telling me that it's too late? Are you telling me that I'm chasing? I worked with someone, there was a trader who had his chart like this. It was really strange. I kept telling him, I was like, dude, I got to be honest, man. I don't know how you see what you're doing like this. You're going to have to learn how to scrunch that up. It was a 1 minute trader too. I still don't understand how he does it, but his chart looks like this. I mean, granted, there's like 9 indicators down here and stuff like that. I'm like, man, if you're making money, go for it. But that looks like a caterpillar to me. Lee says that's called young eyes. I guess. I must be getting old then because I like these ginormous candles. I'm just going to keep waiting on Square, folks. I'm probably a giant chicken, but I don't like this chart. If I don't like it, I'm not going to trade it. Is Raytheon going to be a bull trap, says Brian. Man, getting in up here, 175, what would the stop be? So it's less than $2 risk. There's no way that's going to be like a, I mean, we could just put the stop right here. Is this a bull trap? I mean, it's a high of the day break. So is it going to continue to go higher? I'm going to have to wait for this 5-minute candle to close, which will be a 15-minute candle to close, which is going to be a lot of information. I'll look at the candles and we'll see. This is the 15-minute chart. So we have to see how this closes on a 5-minute time frame. And if it closes like this, I'll just have to continue being a giant chicken for the day. Look at that upper shadow. Team, I'm sorry. I just can't find anything that I like right now. It's hard being patient. That's the toughest part. I mean, I could take a trade just to take a trade to see if it works, but what if it doesn't? You know, that would make me feel like a real loser. Like a real loser. Target would be the only thing I could have been talked into if that 100 on a weekly wasn't right in front of our face. Back over to Coles. I feel good about how we played Coles. I feel pretty good. Only thing we could have done better is already had a limit sell at 64.50, 65.50, and then we shorted it at 65.50 with a stop at 66.50 and then got another half an hour. That would have been the only way to play that. And I felt that too in my bones. I was like, man, I need to do that. I feel like I could do that. Didn't do it. It's okay. My plan doesn't allow me to do that anyway. At least not yet. 2019, we'll see. NVDA 152.01. So it looks like it's going to try to slowly grind higher as well. So yeah, we're bouncing off. This purple line's the 50 EMA on a monthly chart. Monthly. Falco says McDonald's like a double top on the daily. Guess I'll just keep holding this bear call spread. Guess so. You got time. Plenty of time. It's got to go below 180 though, but yeah, I would just keep holding it. Falco says, I worry about the dividend on 11:30. I mean, if anything, a dividend might cause it to gap down, right? You don't have to pay dividends if you're in a bear call spread, if you're in an option position. So won't be anything to worry about there. So I guess your best hope is hoping for a gap down. Short call could get exercised if you're in the money. It's true. I did not think about that. That is accurate. Very good point. Bouncing around. Let me see what we got out there. Dave & Buster's is trading sideways. Cracker Barrel, CBRL. Look at Cracker Barrel just fly. Man, what a bounce. That Cracker Barrel life. 3D printing. Had a really good put sale on this one not too long ago. And that's pretty much it. NVDA, again, bounce this purple line's a 50 EMA on a monthly chart. And NVIDIA is trying to bounce. Square, I don't mind if I miss a winning trade on Square. I probably will. I just don't like the look of this chart. All these moving averages just look to me like they're kind of in the way. On the flip side, I do like this chart a lot. Looks like a perfect S curve. I'm just going to trade up into 64.84. I won't mind missing it. I can live with that. Raytheon, so RTN retested the low on the 5-minute. SPY, again, looks like it's about to take out this tweezer top, which if it does that, I think SPY ends green on the day. So we might get a shot to go long on the SPY with a break above that and a close above that price. Certainly plausible. Once was a short, could then be a long. And that would be $1.10 of risk. That is a 5-minute close. Again, a high of the day breakout. High of the day, 15-minute chart. So I think I could probably drag it down a little bit to here at 64. Times at 11:05. Let me turn the extended hours off. If I just keep missing trades all day, that's fine, right? Don't by no means have to trade. Just hit the 10. You're going to have these really interesting moves all day. And I'm trying to set this up where if I have a $1 stop like earlier, Jeff says Netflix keeps grinding up. Yes, indeed, man. I hope you were able to sell those puts for a really good profit recently. High of the day breaks haven't been working. Low of the day breaks haven't been working. We're going to have to take something not obvious. So I'm going to keep waiting. Jeff, where'd you sell them? On Netflix. What day? Friday. Today is Tuesday, 19th. Okay. Not bad. I mean, bought them up here somewhere. Good job, man. At least you made a gain. But yeah, this is that gap down. This target, again, not saying it was going to hit it today, but this 100 simple on a weekly chart on Netflix is not as low as I think it's going to go. I mean, it can certainly go lower, but definitely a spot where I'm like, okay, this is a good area for Netflix to rest for a little bit. This is a good area. So realistically, what we're getting at this point is kind of like one of these, if I just hide all these drawings for a second, we're just really getting one of these wave structures where it's doing like this, 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 and then we probably expect something like this. And then since we're in a bear trend right now on Netflix and some other stocks, we trade higher and we're probably going to expect a rollover. So up in here is where we start looking to get in bearish on stuff. I mean, that's just the general trend right now. We're making lower highs and lower lows. Big picture, obviously, you could be buying some stuff. It just kind of depends. Jeff says, so many companies are getting into movies and streaming. Yep, that and Netflix, I mean, just had a gargantuan run. Huge stock growth. And so I was like, you figure you got to slow down a little bit. All right, team. So it's now official. I missed square. It's okay. It is all right. My boy Chief is going to make some money on that one for me. SPY, yeah, I'm about to say the high of the day break. I'm not sold on those right now. I don't want to be that noob. It's like, oh, easy high of the day. Let me just get in here. This market's not going to be that easy. It's going to be very unobvious entries and exits. Targets, I mean, it really would have been the only trade I would have taken if that 100 was not here. And we didn't bounce off of it so fiercely. I'd probably be in this trade, and it wouldn't be up big, obviously. But the 10 EMA on the 15 is now below our stop, which is helpful. And here's the 5, and that 20 will come down, and at some point it'll flash up into that 20 a little bit. Q's hanging out, the Dow hanging out, LB trading sideways, and then Amazon. Yeah, so pretty much what happened is the SPY made that new high of the day. People are hopping in. They're going to get a little trapped. It could trade down a little bit lower, and just have to see where it's going to get. Brian says, I feel like Raytheon's going to go to 174. It could, yeah. I mean, it makes sense for that to happen. It'll be a slow process. I'm just going to leave it alone personally for a day trade. I'll just short it at 178.51 if we get up there. That's where I will short it. Again, good job on AAXN. Could have gotten a little bit better than 45. Could have done 44, 24.25, 44.30. But not too upset on Axion Enterprise. Nice swing trade, as you see in front of you. That's how we set it up. And that's 2 R's. What's Celgene up to? CELG. Celgene slowly wielding itself lower. BIIB, Biogen, kind of sideways. I guess I might watch and just be mesmerized by Square. See what it wants to do. Because the rest is just not going to make it obvious, right? It's not going to make it obvious. A good job, Newsom, not taking that high of the day break. They just haven't been working recently. High of the day and low of the day. So it's probably going to come down to where my stop was initially, which is down here, and then bounce. Anything else you guys are looking at? I'm just kind of waiting. Just waiting around. Just waiting and chilling, being patient, trying to find something to not lose my money on. Bow, bow. Here's a guitar riff. All right, so target's 69.25. What's interesting on NVDA is I wouldn't be horrifically terrified to short it with a breakdown up here. Just so we all know. I'm game if that happens. I don't think it's going to go to 0, but I mean, say 0. I mean, I don't think it's going to roll over massively far. But Here's the 5 minute. So again, I'm gonna keep NVIDIA as a possible breakdown later. Falco says, could close that covered call for a gain and do a December 170, 130 collar. Ooh. December 170, and your 170 would pay for the 130? I could live with that. I think that's a good plan. Nice little bullish day like this. Again, it's retesting. It could certainly go higher and end up filling that gap, but it is, at this point, NVIDIA, the only thing NVIDIA has is this purple 50 on the monthly. For any reason it breaks that or starts rolling over, it's going to get pretty rough. Yeah, getting exercise at 170, I think a lot of people would be pretty happy about, including myself, if it got above 170 in December. So we'll just see if we get that timing right, but this chart looks weak. I just hide all the lines. I mean, Brian says RTN was a bull trap. Not yet. This is about where I would be buying the breakout, right? You don't want to buy a breakout in these markets. You want to buy the retest. So this would be about where we were going to get triggered in on. Didn't close above some averages. I mean, yeah, so it could pull back a little bit farther. We will see. It doesn't look superbly strong if it takes out the low of this candle and the low of this candle. I'm still waiting for something to sink our teeth into if we can find it, but if not, not a big deal. Got 45 minutes left together, and then we're going to call it a day. A really good day. I feel great that what we did. Again, there's no way you're going to catch every single fade, so you can't get stressed about it. We took one. Felt like the other ones were going to do what they were going to do, and I can live with that. Even the Qs, the fade would have been difficult. Falco says, bought to close a covered call for a $1.11 profit. Put the December collar on for a net credit of $5. All right. Thanks, bud, for letting me know. Bobby says, all you need is one good trade a day. That is so true. So true. 170, 130 December collar. $5 net credit. Nice. Cool deal, man. Let's see what she can do. And Bobby, congrats also on your Kohl's trade. That was the one good trade of the day. One good trade a day. One good trade. A 4-hour trade like that can hold me over for a month almost. I love it. So NVDA, again, watching for a potential breakdown. I'm certainly not afraid to take NVIDIA short up here. Oh, wow. It's like really getting there fast, too. So we are almost here. Go look at this 5 minute. So you have 3 bearish candles in a row. So I'm not going to short a breakout on NVIDIA unless I can get a bullish candle right here, but I would short a retracement. So keep watching that real closely. Bobby says, thanks. I was looking at Boeing and never thought about Kohl's until you called it out. Hey, good job on Boeing. I mean, Boeing also had a miraculous fade. Don't know if you played that one, but that was a massive gap down. Boeing, really interesting pattern, breaking the 50 with a close. So we are closing below the 50 EMA on a weekly chart. And at this point, looks like you have lower to go on Boeing. Wow, this 5 minute on Boeing looks weak. Snapdragons, Bobby. Oh, shoot. So we have Boeing and NVIDIA. Both look like they're trying to roll over. Wow. I played Boeing the other day for a very small break even. This will be 56. Here's the 15-minute chart. Oh, heavens. Heavens to Betsy. That is a nice evening star. Got to go lower than that candle, though. Wow. So NVIDIA or Boeing? Interesting. Ooh, I mean, we got 40 more minutes together, so we got time. Square, I'll be so happy with myself if I just end up not taking a stupid trade on Square. I really will. I'll be pleased. Raytheon looks a little weak. There comes SPY. Apple hanging out. Facebook. So again, looking at NVIDIA possibly short and Boeing possibly short. Target still okay. Hasn't hit that 20 EMA, so before you move your stop, make sure it flashes up into the 20, because that's pretty common. And NVIDIA is going to start sinking. That's the thing, is just so many bearish candles. It's like, give me a bullish candle, give me some kind of buying, otherwise I'll have to set up some type of limit sell. I'll do my best to keep waiting on NVIDIA. Just have too many bearish candles in a row to go short here. I'd kind of like to short it 150.32. That'd be kind of cool. There's the doji. And then Boeing. Wow. Boeing, same kind of pattern. Evening star. Whew. I'm going to keep giving it time. Again, I don't mind if I miss some of these afternoon rollovers. It won't stress me out. But we've had a huge fade, and we could get a little bit of an upper shadow out there on some stuff. Okay, so right now I'm just waiting for some candles to close. Kind of an interesting little high wave bullish candle. This is on the 5-minute chart. Here's the 3-minute. Yep, that looks cute. What's the low of this? 149. 149.75. So it's 148.71. That's good. And I can just make this 71. Again, I just want to make sure I can lose less than an R. I think almost for sure we could lose less than an R with that giant $5 stop. And then Boeing is like, okay, do I take Boeing or NVIDIA? If I take Boeing, it'd have to be like that. Well, no, the 15-minute candle, I just have to wait 5 more minutes for this candle pattern to close. Down to the 10 EMA on the extended hours chart for NVIDIA, and it's kind of below it on the non-extended hours. Great job waiting and recognizing the amount of bearish candles. I really don't think I need to have my stop that high. This should be good, right? $152.71. Be a little bit tight, but at that point you could drop it down to 152.06 and then 151 and then hopefully somewhere here, and that should work out okay. And then Boeing is actually trying to bounce a little bit. So we got 2 possible plays. SPY would have come down right to where I was thinking about putting a stop for that high of the day break and then would have bounced. Apple slowly grinding higher. Facebook, I think I can take Facebook off the list. There's that pop on target into the 20 that we were talking about just minutes ago. So mentioned before you lower your stop, want to make sure that happens, that pattern comes in. Let it interact with those averages before you move your stop, just so you don't get trailed out on what could be a rollover for the day. Not saying it will, but I mean, again, it probably won't because the 100 on the weekly is down there. The Qs, again, looks okay. We should bounce. This should be a higher low on some things, but if we don't, for the afternoon, it could be fun. L Brands, wow, L Brands looks, I haven't really looked at this that strong, I guess, but man, look at L Brands. Oh, you got that VWAP right there. That's that shape in the afternoon. You get that triangle pattern, but the VWAP is right below it. Rarely works. And Amazon, possible bounce. So if we play something, we have maybe NVIDIA bearish, maybe Boeing bearish. You're looking at, this is the 5-minute chart. Here's the 3 minutes. You got that hammer candle. The 15 is kind of what looks interesting on NVIDIA. Granted, into the VWAP is much lower than a 1-to-1 risk-reward ratio. Much lower. So we have that to contend with. And Boeing, good job waiting. So far, it looks like she might be bouncing. What a mess today. I mean, I'm very happy that we're not in anything that we shouldn't be in. Not placing any traps, not getting kind of crazy fills. Just trying to be cool, calm, and collected. So yeah, so also target kind of flashed up to the VWAP and the 20. So you had kind of both right there. To get some selling off of. Okay. So we're going to get a breakdown later this afternoon. I don't know. Tony says tomorrow will probably be similar to today's chop. I'm very interested to see what happens tomorrow because I could see a really nice gap up tomorrow and that fades down. I could see a gap down and just get an inside day candle. I agree, man. There's so much out there that could happen. On what time frame, Falco? 5 minute. Higher lows. Yep, like that. I could see that pattern. Very interesting. I guess I'm just kind of waiting around still. That's what's happening. August says, I bet Friday is the do nothing day. Yeah, I think Friday is the day where nothing's going to happen. Jenny says, Jeremy, did you take a trade on the SPY today? Just curious. It's in the trade journal. I had one set up. Yes, I have not exited that yet. Apologies. Yeah, we set up a trade, did not get filled, would have made about 0.7 Rs if we did get filled. Thomas took that trade on SPY and made 0.7 Rs. It was this little tweezer top rollover right there. Thanks for the reminder to delete that out of the journal. So far, yeah, only calls right now for the day trade. I'm trying to see if I should place a Boeing breakdown or an NVIDIA breakdown. They don't look terrible. The stops are going to be kind of wide on them. And I think I'm only playing it off of an hourly. Yeah, so here's the hourly. So it's kind of like almost an hourly 10 EMA failure. So Boeing on the 15, NVIDIA on the 15. Still a lot of chop. August says at this point, forget it. It's probably what's going to happen, August, most likely for me. We are just experiencing a lot of sideways movement. So again, I like watching the candles and knowing when not to trade. Tony says off topic, but Bitcoin finally hit a long-term zone at 4,400 this morning. Very exciting. Not totally off topic. Trading related. Bitcoin, big breakdown. Good job on the short tones. That was beautiful. And I think the next stop is 31 and some change on Bitcoin. After it maybe has a little bit bigger of a retest, but that triangle breakdown is for reals. So the 200 simple on a weekly. Coming on down. Facebook. Whoa, that's an interesting pattern. Good eyes, Brian. Facebook. Time is at 12:30. It does look double top-esque. Where would our entry be on Facebook? So this is we'd have to short it on a retest. If we put a stop right here, We have a hard time losing less than an R. If we put a stop right here, we should be able to lose less than an R. I'll keep Facebook on the list, man. I mean, let's we will see if it breaks and kind of retest this little double top. Again, you've had a big fade today out there in the markets. Charles says, you want off topic? I'm going to go make my brine for the turkey. I'm going to smoke for Thanksgiving. But I'll bring my laptop in the kitchen with me. All right, that's fair. Totally fair. So Charles is making his turkey. Trying to watch NVDA to see if it's going to have a rollover. Seeing how aggressive I want to play it, because I'd love to get below this candle right here. Like an entry up here, if it really does roll, wouldn't that be great? But you got the 10 on the 15. Such an interesting day. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. It's like Sports Center great. Boeing still sideways. It was all just really choppy. And then Target got the 20 EMA on the target acting as a resistance. You got the 10 EMA on the 15 kind of coming down to just maybe press a little bit lower. You can see it's almost in a perfect triangle pattern. Lower highs, higher lows. Not doing much else other than that. So waiting it out to see what we get. Because again, if we were looking at the cues on the daily chart, we did have a decent candle. A little bit of a good fade. It could obviously go higher, but it could close down like this. I mean, only down 0.7%. So it would take out the sting, but still be down, making lower lows. The Dow is almost a perfect doji on the day this far in the afternoon, which usually screams indecision. So is anything going to happen on the Dow Jones towards the end of the day? Who knows, but it could very well end just like that. LB is at 29.89. So it's had its huge move. And I do kind of like this pattern on the 5-minute chart, but risk reward into the VWAP is kind of bogus. I haven't used the word bogus out loud in a long time. Yeah, and if I play this NVIDIA short, it's almost just because I want to. There wouldn't be any massively obvious signal, but I could get a $3 stop. I put a stop up here. It just looks a little on the weak side. Trying to make lower lows, lower highs. I'd hate to get shorted at the very low, only to get trapped, but it's bouncing off the 10 on the extended hours. That's a problem. And the non-extended hours. See if Facebook looks that strong. I got to keep waiting, team. I'm sorry. I know you guys want another trade for the afternoon. I'm looking, trying to find something, but I don't want to trade just to trade. I can't see anything that I really like. Boeing is probably my favorite, and it's only okay. Got the VWAP in the way on Facebook. It's right at that support. Now, again, if it starts taking out the VWAP, a nice little double top, we could get some movement on Facebook. I'm not saying we can't have a nice bearish move in the afternoon. I'd like to get into something if it makes sense. Just waiting. Chief says spooky dust on square. It's going to go higher. Man, that would be a beautiful breakout right here. If it does pop. If it can break out of there, you'll get your 64, Chief. So sitting around waiting on SQ, waiting for that to close above 60 at some point in time. Maybe it will, and maybe it won't. Back over to NVDA. Try and see if NVIDIA will get some type of bearish breakdown. And you got some moving averages in the way, namely the 10 and the 20 on the non-extended hours, and then the 10 on the extended hours. I mean, we bounced off of it perfectly. Again, when you're doing a fade, you're always going to have moving averages that tell you no. So, I mean, at some point, you just want to look at the candles. And based on the candles, it does have some weakness. A little bit of lower highs. We're starting to post in the afternoon. I'm interested to see how this candle closes right here. The low of this candle is 150.25. Let's give that a minute or two and just see if this candle closes bullish or bearish, because I'm kind of sensing that NVIDIA wants to roll over here. August typing in AMAT. So AMAT, kind of similar. Bullish engulfing candle, trying to post like a triple bottom or something. Dividends slightly around the corner, so AMAT trying to recover a little bit. Weekly chart, I mean, AMAT is definitely down there. So a lot of people are looking to go long on AMAT off the 200 on the weekly. So yeah, that's a decent long price for a swing. I think I have that one on the list for today. Nope, I don't. I'll put AMAT on the list. We can look at it later this afternoon for, I'm sure some people might want to go longer term on some stuff. Brian says, shutting it down, keeping my 0.7 Rs. All right, bud. Take care. Go be awesome. Jeff says, do you think Netflix can fill the early 2018 gap? At some point, yes. The good news is you kind of almost got to fill early when it happened, but it is a retest gap. I'm thinking yes, man. I would start planning now, Jeff, to do something like you did last time. And just go ahead and start coming up with that pattern for, boom, 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 boom. Somewhere around 300. If it gets up there, look for that white candle to gap up and then kind of look for that bearish play, because right now we're making lower lows and lower highs on Netflix on a daily and weekly chart. So, yeah, buddy. Chief says, see you all next week. Happy Thanksgiving. You too, my friends. Thanks for being here and being amazing. Look at this cute little doji on the 3-minute on NVIDIA. That is mad cute. I mean, realistically, my question is NVIDIA going to trade higher on the day, up 3%, or do we roll over here a little bit? I think we roll over. I think we have some bearish movement. Make this 23. Okay. 3-minute chart. I'm gonna let this candle close 30 seconds. I'm gonna decide if I want to short it. Just kind of right where it's at, $3 stop, and that way we could lose less than R. But I want it to close first. We still have 15 more minutes left together, so plenty of time. Back over to the Qs. A little weakness on the Qs. Back over to the VWAP. To 1-to-1 to the low of the day. I'm game. 150.23 limit sell by 153.23. That 5-minute candle life. So true. Okay. If I end up missing it just because of the timing, that's also understandable. But we can leave that open for a little while because it's, again, as choppy as it is. NVDA 150.23 by 153.23. Retest gap. And we will just see if we get a slight rollover over there. Because Boeing, here's Boeing. I'm gonna leave I'm not gonna take both NVIDIA and Boeing, but I'll just leave the drawings on and see. I can kind of come back and figure out what Boeing would have ended up doing. Facebook did look weak. I agree. Had some weakness on Facebook, but just traded to the VWAP. Square kind of chopping around. Raytheon, we can take that off the list for now. Still have a bearish swing trade set up on RTN. And Apple made a new high of the day just to get rocked. 181.44 and 181.47. Nope, didn't quite make a new high of the day. Target. So TGT. If you did take this trade, this would be where the old stop is. And at this point in time, I probably would just take the stop and the new stop and bring it down into here. It's a perfect triangle. Doesn't look like anything great is happening on target as far as the bearish trade's concerned. So I'd give that like 13 more minutes. And if it doesn't start making some lower lows, probably just, you need to cut it. Qs down 1.2%, but it's rallied pretty hard, from the open. So we can see if we get a little bit of an upper shadow. And again, I just like this candle on NVIDIA on the daily. It's just a huge bullish candle. We're up 4 or 5% from the close of yesterday, bouncing off of that 50. And again, I might have missed that by seconds. By mere seconds. I just loved this candle right here. It's like a little doji. I'll leave this open though for about 12 more minutes. And again, if it doesn't retrace, I end up missing an R or so, that's fine. I should have pulled the trigger a little bit faster, would have been my thought, but no big deal. I'll just get to watch and go, yay, I think I got the analysis correct. because as choppy as it's been, I mean, we could do this, 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 you know, on NVIDIA. But definitely making some lower highs. Here's Netflix. Netflix, like kind of cute little breakdown on Netflix. It also had that pretty large retest candle. That's the thing that we have to consider is we have retested. You know? Any last minute requests? Anything you want to look at before we all part ways? Like I said, we have an official setup on NVIDIA, so if you're going to trade anything, you're welcome to trade that if you want to. You by no means have to. Boeing looks a little on the weak side. Facebook looks a little bit on the weak side. Jeff says Tilray, T-L-R-Y. What is Tilray doing? So Tilray still sideways. So Sylvan's covered call expired worthless on this one. Right now, believe it or not, it looks like this might start getting into a Bollinger Band squeeze. Yeah. Jeffy says he has December 60 puts. I can see that, man. I mean, what's really interesting is, again, we're just trading sideways. Super small candles. This is the support, pretty much the low of the day today. We need to break down, I would say, before December 1st. If that doesn't happen, then Tilray probably gets into a Bollinger Band squeeze pattern. Volatility declines and gets seeped out of it, and then eventually it pops in some direction or another, probably at the end of December, early January. It's kind of my thinking on that. Jeff says, make a class on that. On Bollingers? I do. August says projected Apple bottom out point. I don't know what that means, August. Projected Apple bottom jeans. Boots with the fur. Apple bottom, because out could be a put. How low will it go? We're going to fill this gap eventually. Filled on NVIDIA, by the way. How low does Apple go? I mean, today there's obviously going to be a little bit of a support coming in on Apple. You know, and this is probably a low point for a little bit. How long, I don't really know. But looking at the weekly chart, and just randomly TradingView started going very, very slow. At least it's happening right towards the end of the day. Let me pull back up Tilray. While I'm loading that, Jeff, if you want to pull up YouTube and type in Bollinger Bands real life trading, get a class on the Bollinger Bands. But yeah, Apple, I mean, eventually I think it pulls down into this gap on the daily chart over here. Fill this gap at 170, 169, and from there it should kind of stabilize a bit. I don't think it's going to happen immediately. I mean, obviously it could, but we'll probably get a little bit of a rest and then a roll lower. Will that be the absolute bottom? I really do not know, but it should be a decent bottom, because that's also the 100 simple on a weekly chart, 169.33. So that's going to be the next area, the next battle, where I'm going to go, okay, if it makes it there, we should start slowing down and bouncing a little bit. Great question. That is my thoughts. Daniel says KLIC. KLIC. Wow. Sofa Industries. Look at this fade. Jeez. Right off the 200 simple on a weekly chart, like it was its job. Man, Daniel, that's really interesting. I don't know what the heck to do on that one, other than don't buy it right now, because that's the ginormous bullish candle, huge volume, most likely gets retraced and retested a little bit. So yeah, I'd be buying the dip on that one, but that is a lot of volume. Marie says, ideas on shorting GLNG. This is a good gap. Very good gap today on the day trade. I did not see this one. I was hoping for a bearish gap and go. I would have played it. How would I have played it? This is the 3-minute chart. First 3-minute candle, really selling off fast. I would have made like maybe half an hour on this trade. My entry would have been below that white candle. Stop would have been above there. I think I would have gotten trailed out around here for about half an hour. Probably would have peeled off something small down here. From here, though, I like the gap a lot. And yeah, I mean, if I go to a weekly chart, you've got some support and resistance to contend with. If I draw this like this, the question is, how strong will that be? At that point, I don't know. I would say on this one, Maurice, wait a day or two, hope for some inside candles, and then look for it to break down. Because you do have a little bit of a trend line where we are right now. And if it can, trade sideways for a day or two, which I think it can, because based on the hourly chart, it is a retest gap on the hourly. So here's your black candle gapping down. So it makes sense if we get a little bit more of a retest and then we break lower. So that's what I would kind of wait for. All right, so NVDA, this is the hourly chart, and you can see our stop is above the 10 EMA on an hourly. The low of this candle is 148.75. Low of this is 148.73. This could easily be a bull flag where we just bounce and kind of rocket higher. I like our stop where it's at. This is the 15-minute chart, and the view app is at 146.13. So if we do, by some miracle, happen to trade down there, that would be pretty much an R. And if we get lucky enough, maybe we can get a chance to peel some gains off there. I kind of like this 5-minute chart. And I'm going to wait and hold it. It looks good. So nicely done on NVIDIA. Good fill. Facebook breaking the VWAP. That looks bearish. Boeing still hasn't broke over yet, but looks a little bit bearish. Square, I can take Square off the list. SPY, kind of breaking down. Target, again, folks, I think I mentioned just a moment ago, if it doesn't make lower lows in the next 13 minutes, I'll just get out. It really hasn't. So you can get out. If you did take that trade, pretty much for non-event. Qs look a little bit weak, Dow a little bit weak, and then L brands a little on the weak side. So right now, I guess we'll try to hold NVIDIA to see if it can break lower. Again, target probably really will be just above the VWAP. I don't know if it's going to go massively lower than that, although it has the potential to. I'm not going to hold it overnight or anything. So, I mean, I'll be exiting it today. But my plan right now is at the VWAP. Plan right now is to exit at VWAP. Jeff says similar to Netflix on the VWAP. I believe so, yes. Yep, that is correct. If it can make it down there, that'd be a good place. All right, squad, that's it. 4 straight hours. Gobble, gobble. I'll see you all tonight from 5 to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Tech Giant Tuesday. And then Real Life Trading is closed for the next 3 days. Slack will still be open, so you're welcome to hop over to Slack, mingle, talk with people, get some gainages, learn about stuff, posting pictures. I'm sure a bunch of pictures and videos will be going in on Slack. So I'll see you all there. I'll see you in the afternoon. Enjoy your Thanksgiving holidays, ladies and gentlemen, with your friends and family. Remember, that's what life's all about. Until next time, love life, and trade it. Bye.